Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. Okay, right quick. Give me a second, y'all. Okay, just had to check on something. All right, so y'all know how we do over here. The first thing is to start with a video short, give everybody time to come through. So let me do that now.
I have time today for my women over 40, because that's who I talk to. Y'all younger women, your moms, your aunties, someone around you should be mentoring you to get married. That's not what I do. I have my own daughters. One is married, one's gonna be married soon. So y'all really need to have conversations with your moms, aunties, mentors. Okay. For women over 40, y'all, this dating landscape is different. No one is really talking to us about how different the dating landscape is. I went through it at 43, married at 44, maybe I was 42, turned 4, I don't know. But I'm 45 now, and I'm doing my best to help y'all understand it's limited. Okay. You want a clearance rack. Okay. You got to pick the best. We're manager special. It's not what it was in your 20s. It's not what it was in your 30s. And some of y'all over 50 that I meet and really still think y'all got options. You're so independent and set in your ways, you blame it on the men. But it's you, sis. It's you. So
Wow. She really told it how she sees it. I mean, she really told it how she's seen it. She said that you are on the clearance rack. You are a manager special. Okay. Here's the thing. And there's a reason why she's not talking to 20-year-olds. Because, or 20-somethings. There's really no way to convince somebody whose inbox is always full that it's going to be difficult. That 20 years from now, if you continue down this path of playing around, that one day it's going to be difficult, and it's still impossible, especially when you are dealing with Black women. And that's because Black women have this saying that Black don't crack, and we age different than white. It's not really a matter of looks. There is and we're going to get into that today, definitely. There is a whole list of factors that comes along with women's aging, including fertility, that looks is not going to save you. Even if you look exactly the same way you did at 20, it still isn't going to save you. And we're definitely going to cover that. All right. So go ahead and hit that like button and let's get started. All right. Actually, yeah. Gonna cover this woman here. Give me a second.
By the time she reaches her 30s, her ability to become pregnant starts to decline. By age 45, the likelihood of her getting pregnant, the likelihood of her being able to carry a child is slim to none. And in the event that she is able to carry that child, she risks losing her life. She puts that kid at risk of death, mental and or physical defect. Women fail to realize that time is not on their side. So instead of spending your 20s getting run through by hundreds of men, think about how time is not on your side. Think about how time is not your friend. But you're the same women who are going to be delusional enough to think that by the time you reach your 50s, you're going to be able to press a reset button and land a high value man who's going to wife you and impregnate you. Now, before you start to argue your way through this conversation, before you start womanizing this conversation, these are not about emotions.
I'm gonna pause right here. And that accent that you hear, because I looked at her channel after this, is a Haitian accent. It is now sexy to me. Of course, I've heard Haitian accents before. I always thought it was okay. It was okay. I like it better than I like Asian accents, and I think like the top of the accent food chain is whatever it is. What's her name? The pineapple girl, Melly Monaco, is talking. This is close to that. Got to give my props to her on that.
These facts are scientifically proven. So as you sit there and argue with a man about how, well, men do it. Well, men have the capability to impregnate a woman even in his late 70s, 80s. As they leave, they create sperm. As a woman, you're limited. Your eggs are limited. Therefore, you do not have the luxury to waste away your prime years. So when you're in your 20s, when you're in your late teens, this is the time for you to start figuring out what you want to do with your life. This is not the time for you to be getting to be getting run through by hundreds of men, by the neighborhood, by the whole neighborhood. So before you start arguing your way out of this conversation, start taking some accountability. I understand that even if the research is standing right in front of you, you're still going to debate your way out of it.
Hi, Frank George here. This is the EMS foot massager.
All right, that's a foot massager. Let me stop right there for a second. Okay. So apparently she's recognizing an epidemic of women that are just participating in hookup culture. Here's the thing about hookup culture, because it's always been around in some form, whether you call it women's liberation or free love in the 70s. It went by different names, but it's always been there. And that is really just society convincing both men and women to prolong traditional relationships in exchange for men's sexual variety, and for women. And that's the thing. This is what kills me. Men get sexual variety out of the equation. Women don't really get anything that they didn't have before. And that's always been like, how did they sell you on this? Because, okay, it's a challenge for men to sleep with a bunch of different women, especially if they're attractive. It is a challenge. And I know, like, some guys, there's a bunch of Fonzarellis out there that just snap their fingers and girls come falling off the ceilings. I know that the chat room is full of those dudes. But for the rest of us, it is a difficult task. And even for Fonzarelli, he has to snap his fingers. But women just have to be women, and they get all of the penises that they want. So where's the challenge? What's the point? What do you gain from it? Like, okay, men want to do it. We have a biological imperative to spread our seed. And then when something like hookup culture or sexual liberation or free love, man, when all that comes about, what that is that's telling women that it's okay, because it's very difficult to spread your seed in a society of everybody's getting married at exactly 18 and staying with their husband for 50 years. You can't really spread your seed to, traditional women, or through a society of traditional women like that. You just can't. Hit the like button. So that is a benefit for men of hookup culture. That is the benefit of hookup culture to men. I have no idea what the benefit is to women as far as hookup culture. And I think what's happening now, because we all know about the sexlessness amongst young men, I think what's happening now is that women have realized that. They're like, you know something? I'm going to participate in hookup culture without hooking up, is what happened. Like, I'm still going to do all of the stuff, which is, not follow traditionalism. And I'm still going to go to the parties. I'm going to go to the clubs and I'm going to go to the events. I'm just not going to hook up. And that is a huge curveball that a lot of young men are dealing with today. And I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. So this woman, attractive Haitian woman with real hair to boot, she's basically saying like, listen, and she's younger. She's like, listen, you can't do that and think that things are going to be the same in your 40s. Think that there's going to, and that's how they can really sell women on this, is telling them that in their 40s, there's going to be a man out there curling around for you. Chances are there aren't, and those type of dudes tend to go for the unattractive women. Or, okay, those type of men tend to get the women on a first come, first serve basis. And since attractive women aren't used to being, rushing to the front of the line like that, they tend to find themselves with the lesser attractive women. Just is what it is. That's just something I notice here, and I notice in real life. Now, let me tell y'all what actually happened. And these are these are the women that maintain their looks. These are the ones that look worth a damn steal. I'm going to tell you what actually happens with the bitterness and despair that happens at a certain age, especially if you've been divorced. It's baggage. Something? Let me just share the screen. Hit the like button while I share the screen.
About a woman who asked her husband to get a birthday cake for their son's birthday party. Okay. She specifically said, do not get an ice cream cake. Okay. Stay with me. The husband gets an ice cream cake. The wife's annoyed. That's cool. Just put it in the refrigerator. He does not do that. Therefore, they have no cake at all, neither baked or ice cream, at her son's birthday party. Now, I'm sure there are some male apologists who are going to blame mental illness or ADHD or whatever other excuses we like to put on men to avoid just the simple fact that they don't fucking like their wives and children. They don't like you. I have said this a million times and I will continue to scream it. Just like we bought into the idea of a patriarchal family, the perfect American dream family, and all our problems would be solved, men brought into that idea too. You get a wife, she's going to make you better, take care of everything, raise your kids for you, and be readily available for sex whenever you want. And then they got into that marriage, they got into that situation.
Okay, let me stop right there. This chick is funny. You know how they always say to us, people like us, who hurt you? I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not going to be a cliche and repeat it back at this chick. I'm not going to repeat the who hurt you. But just know what I'm thinking when I say what I'm about to say after I say this sentence here. It was just a cake. It was just a mistake. So you have a man with a wife and a kid to boot. Now, as in most every traditional relationship, it is the wife's, I would say, duty, but one can even stretch and say honor to facilitate the children's birthday parties. And as the leader of this particular thing, she delegated a task to her husband, one that he failed at. It happens, everywhere things like that happen. You tell somebody to order a pizza and don't forget the Parmesan cheese, and then they forget the Parmesan cheese. You say no mayo, and they put mayo on. It stuff happens, especially in marriages. Stuff is going to happen. And this chick is so angry. She's so angry. She's so hurt that she concluded that the plurality of men don't love their wife and kids because this one got an ice cream cake when she asked him not to get an ice cream cake. This is what happens to women after a certain age. Once again, today we're going to focus on the ones that have kept their looks intact. This isn't going to be a show where it's the obvious, where you have the big and wig and the, fatted and tatted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is not that show. This is the show on the women who have sustained their looks, but you still will have to put up with this type of crap. Imagine doing that. Imagine forgetting, like you get an ice cream cake as opposed to a regular cake, and some chick comes along and says, you don't love your wife and kids. Let me continue.
That situation and realized, holy fuck, I actually have responsibilities and things are being expected of me. What? So a lot of these men, instead of just being like, this isn't for me, they continue to remain in those relationships because it benefits them, right? They don't have to take care of their kids. Their woman will pack their lunch for them. She's there. And they'll just continue taking whatever resources and services that she can provide until one day, much like he woke up and was like, what? I've been robbed. The woman wakes up one day and goes, what? I've been robbed of my youth, of my energy, of my time. This is a scam. I don't want to do this shit. This American dream style.
Okay. So she just admitted that she don't love her husband and kids. And she feels that the husband and kids is robbing her of her youth and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I have to say that you can't really be robbed of your youth. At least not in the sense that she's referring. Because your youth is going to go away one way or another, whether you like it or not. Like I'm in my 40s now. I wasn't robbed of my youth. It's just gone. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, something could happen to where you can say that I would have rather spent my youth doing this as opposed to this, meaning like a young man who's incarcerated, and wrongly, he could say that, okay, I was robbed. He still had his youth, but he wasn't able to enjoy it the way he wanted to because he was wrongly incarcerated. This is not that. Like, she still had a youth. She just did it doing something that at the time she wanted to do. and at the time you wanted to do. And believe it or not, there is nothing better that you could be doing. Now, I'm going to address something in the chat room. First of all, Ronald Calhoun, thank you for the, I was hoping to catch you in the chat room one day. Thank you for the Cash App. I got it, and I didn't announce it when it was on the show. This is a couple shows back, so thank you for that. Now, he says her voice is very annoying. Her voice is, what she has is what's called the Cynthia G accent. I repeat, she has the Cynthia G accent. She is one of these women, these bitter women, who have listened to Cynthia G so much that it affected her speech. She now sounds like her. So yes, that is the voice that you hear. Listen closely. It is the Cynthia G accent. She has that Cynthia G accent. Cynthia G has rubbed off on her. Hit the like button.
Family where the man's the leader and the little wife is at home is not working. Okay, that's why there are so many people trying to force feed us this idea that it does work. That's why there's so much subliminal mess.
Nobody is trying to force feed you the idea that it does work. If anything, they are. When was the last time, besides the Cosby Show, when was the last time somebody tried to force feed like healthy relationships? And the Cosby Show was the 80s. When was the last time you seen anybody force feed traditional relationships? She is full of crap.
Messaging and religious programming, and it's in our TV shows and it's in our movies.
What TV show? What movie? I repeat, what TV show, what movie is encouraging traditionalism? What TV show? What movie? Last movie I know of that came out was A Color Purple, and that's really not encouraging that.
And that's why I get attacked and bullied on my page constantly by both men and women and told that there's something wrong with me because I'm going against our programming. It is natural for a baby giraffe to be born and to immediately start walking minutes after birth. Yes, there are some things that are just natural. It just comes with being an animal or a human being. But this whole idea of a leader and submission, and that's not natural.
Yes,
that's why
is.
the divorce rate is so fucking high.
The divorce rate is high because you are being programmed into something else. You're being programmed to go against your nature.
Because so many of us are just like, this shit is for the birds. So, long story short, because I tend to ramble, it's not marriage humor. They're little tiny cries for help. That's why you see so many people happening with a family structure is simply not just being okay, not sad and mopey and depressing.
We need to start okay. That is the only thing that is being promoted. She's stupid. That is the only thing that is being promoted at this time, at this place, at this point in history. What is she talking about? That's like a L Gibbet, a rainbow person, coming up and saying, we need to promote rainbow. That is what's being promoted. What in the world are you talking about?
We need to promote more people getting the help they need, or at least finding affordable resources for them, so that
Now she's talking about more free crap. She's essentially saying, I need more free stuff for being a single mama. She's a single mama. I need more free stuff. We need to start promoting more free stuff. We didn't start doing that like in the 60s and crap like that, but we really need to start now. Because between the WIC, the Section 8, the food stamps, the EBT cash, and all the other stuff, I need more. The Obama phones, the cheap energy, the cheap cable. I need more crap because this girl's husband didn't buy a regular cake. He bought an ice cream cake. So, because of that, we should be single. We should promote this lifestyle. And I need more crap to do it. So following a man's lead isn't natural, but getting a bunch of taxpayers to buy you crap to support your lazy ass that's natural?
that when people do get together, it's more of a healthy relationship. It's more of them doing what works for them, and nobody is being a dick getting a fucking ice cream cake that they specifically were told not to get, and then allowing that shit.
I think she might be at the top of my worst human being list. She is really just driving this ice cream cake thing into the ground.
To fucking melt.
Okay. All right. Let me. Uh, uh, oh, crap. Okay. All right. Let me go back. I cannot. This is okay. I'm going to relate this back to the topic at hand. She is suffering from a severe case of bitterness. And this is what happens when you reach a certain age. You reach a certain age and you have not met your relationship goals. Then all you can do is attack others who have. Look for any opportunity that you can to assure that other people do not meet their relationship goals as well. Because it's lonely when you're single, and women aren't used to lonely. Men, we handle it. I mean, we don't like it either, but we handle it a lot better. Women are extremely social creatures. And unfortunately, for the single woman later in life, what happens is if all of her friends become married, their primary focus becomes on their husband and their children. She's gonna run. Basically, they're running out of people to go on girls' trips with. To do the stuff that they do in college. They're running out of those people. So, you're alone, and the only people that is going to or is trying to give you the time of day is men that want to smash. That's what you are relegated to. Now, don't believe me? Let me show you more of this chick. Let me show you more, because this is spectacular. She is the definition of what not to be. Hold on. Hit the like button, people. Heading out for my birthday weekend. Let's see. And don't get me wrong, she has a nice shape, face is still cool and stuff like that. So let's see.
Hey guys, I'm heading out for the night.
I'm heading
This
out
is
for the
the
night.
dress that I'm wearing.
I'm thirst trapping.
What do you guys think?
I think you're
This
desperate.
Is the purse that I'm carrying. It's got little
I think you're
gold
desperate.
heart
I
on
think
it.
that you are a
And this is my
40-year-old
necklace.
pretending to be
It's
a 20-year-old,
rhinestones
and guys
on
are
it.
going to
I'm
see
wearing
it.
some gold earrings.
Yes, we see your gold earrings. It
I'm
looks
not sure
better
why
on
I'm
you
talking
20
in
years
a Jersey
ago.
accent. I think it's just
Okay.
the dress giving me a Jersey attitude right now.
Yeah.
I'm barefoot. I'm not going to show my shoes because I don't feel like getting a bunch of unwanted opinions on them, okay? But anyway, this is my dress. What do you guys think? I'm ready to go out and paint the town red.
You should not be painting the town anything at your age. You should be like talking about wall sconces with your husband, but instead you are out painting by yourself. By yourself. You're out by yourself looking to paint the town red, thirst trapping, hoping to get a man's attention while secretly despising men.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Hoping that a Jersey accent will get you the attention that you want. That is your life right now. That is the one that you set up for. And now, and then you post videos on YouTube, trying to make women single because their loving husband got an ice cream cake as opposed to a regular cake. That is your life. Is anybody getting like Tia Mowry vibes from this chick? And this is how she spends the other part of her birthday. Yep. I don't want to use the word pathetic, but I can't think of another word. And here she is on the same day on her birthday again, apparently different outfits. Oh, wait, did I click the wrong one? This is just her with her tits in the camera, putting makeup on. Dang. They put a lot of makeup on. This is ridiculous. Okay. All right, let me stop this. So I obviously clicked the wrong one, but y'all get my point. This is how they spend their lives. Trying to hold on to something. I mean, listen. If you're a grown man, if you're like 50 years old, playing with Legos don't make you 5. Riding a oversized big wheel do not make you 4 years old again. Like that song, back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Yes, you're not. Some days you sit and wish you was a kid again, but it's just a wish. You don't do the same things that you did as a kid thinking that, you're going to get the same. First of all, you're not going to get the same results, and that's obvious. And it stunts your growth as a person. Because now the men, and trust me, she still wants me. Men are seeing you as a wannabe. And what you are doing is you are attracting the men who want a 20-something, but can't get a 20-something, so they are with you. That's essentially what you're getting. That is the attention that you're getting. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Hold on. Let me. Something happened. Let me see this. Okay. Yep. I got to cover this. I was checking. I was gonna check for music, but and it has music, but all right. Let's see. So here she is. So people are seeing right through her. Apparently, she has somebody that she labeled troll. Says you're only pretending to be happy. Duh. Single on social media. Me off social media. Oh wow, you're eating pizza. You must be happy because you're eating pizza. And then at the bottom it says happy holidays. You know, that thing that most women your age would spend with a bunch of kids and grandkids and stuff like that. But you're eating pepperoni pizza because you're too lazy to cook. And you have no one to cook for. You're not even an auntie. You're not even like over somebody's house who did do it the right way, cooking a bunch of meals for them. All you do is you talk about how great it is to be single and look at my tits, while at the same time condemning those who are in relationships because of ice cream cakes. I'm eating pizza. Look at me. I'm happy. Oh, Christ. All right. So let's move off of her. Boobies. Let's move off of her. And let's move to the next one.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiffany's. Make videos on YouTube because pretty much to become a makeup artist to make a video in the morning. Like if you just get on and with your bare face, you look crazy.
Why did this chick just admit that her bare face looked crazy? Essentially, what she just said is that I don't have any hair, which is obvious. I don't have any damn hair, but it's blonde. I'm a blonde. I don't have any hair, and the few hairs that I do have, like Homer Simpson, I dyed it blonde. Yeah, don't she? Don't she look like lemon cotton candy gone wrong? Like, oh crap. I'm blonde. And then she says that the face that you see now is the result of hours of makeup. Like, you know, like that song. You got that look. You must have took a whole hour just to make up your face, and then this is the result. Oh my god. She looks like a weak Saiyan. She looks like a weak Super Saiyan. You know, like a Super Saiyan that doesn't flare up all the way. Like that look, oh, that is where she is right now.
So I'm not a makeup artist. Excuse whatever imperfections you see here.
Holy crap.
Anyway, so I made this video yesterday, and then when I went to upload it, I'm like, oh, I got a patch of shiny shit on my forehead. So I'm like, I gotta get up this morning and redo it again. I got workers outside of my window. I got badass kids downstairs making all this noise. So I'm trying to get this done.
She said kids. She said kids with a Z, meaning that it's plural. The Z means plural. meaning that she has at least 2. And y'all know what that means? That means that she has more kids than she has inches of hair. I repeat, she has more kids than she has inches of hair. One more time. More kids than inches of hair on her head. All right, let's continue. Hit the like button.
Really quickly. Anyway, this video is about dating men, dating men in their 40s, which is a mess, as I've come to realize. I totally thought, I'm naturally attracted to older men, but I totally thought that the older men would be, the more tired they would be and less ready for bullshit. Well,
I cannot believe this chick. Fellas, I want you to take notes on this. Chicks like her is waiting for you to get tired. They're waiting for you to get tired. I don't want to be a player no more. And then that's when they show up. Now, remember what I said. How when you reach a certain age, they're just hoping that you take anything that's available to you because you're tired and you just want to get hitched. That's what they're banking on. And it's the least attractive first because they're going to be the most aggressive. They're going to be the front of the line. And then these guys in their 40s, curling around, they're just going to take what they can get and keep it. That's what they want. She just basically said, you're more tired. You are too exhausted to worry about things like standards. And we're going to talk about this whole tired thing in a little bit. But you are too jaded to worry about things like standard and submission and desires and weight and how many kids I have and how long my hair is and what I look like without makeup. You are too tired for that. Remember this word tired. They're hoping for you to get tired.
Oh, I was wrong. There seems to be like a second wind of energy that comes at about 38 and gives them just a good 7 more years to deal with.
Holy crap. She said, I want these guys to be tired of dealing with fuckery. Here's what that means. It means that I am going to induce fuckery. I am going to inject fuckery in your life. And I don't want you to put up a resistance to the fuckery that I am going to put into your life. That's what she's saying. She wants you to be that guy on the porch to when she comes with her absurd fuckery, you're just going to sit there like, yes, dear. Uh-huh. Yep, I'm just tired. Even though she didn't even use her youth to tire you out. She just wants you tired. She wants you too exhausted to fight back. She is trying to hit you with the rope-a-dope. That is what that is. It is the rope-a-dope. Hold on. She wants you to be the dope. She wants you to be George Foreman as she Muhammad Ali's you. But she's not actually being there to take the body blows. No, she's just going to come into whatever round George Foreman got tired on and say, okay, he's tired now. I'm taking over from here. And now she's like, oh, wait a minute. He got some more energy? Let me leave and wait a little bit longer. Now, let's see what this guy has to say about getting tired out.
Now that what matters, the truth is, by the time you get to 40 years old, you realize don't nobody give a fuck what kind of car you got. Because everybody got their own problems. Everybody dealing with their own shit. Nobody care about what house. If you still trying to impress somebody else, then you got a problem anyway. But then they realize that love, somebody accepting you for who you are, somebody loving you for who you are is really what matters. Somebody that I can build a life with, build something with. Because after you done had sex,
I think this is what tired sounds like. Where nothing matters but love. Oh yeah, I want to build a life with somebody. Listen. At a certain age, you don't already built that crap. Let's be clear. At a certain age, you already built it. I mean, some is later than others, but still, like, you should be looking like, who are you? And where were you when I was building this crap? It's like, listen, you got to have something. You got to come with something because you didn't come with the decades of me building. You know, we didn't meet at 20 and you was with me when I was working at Burger King, but you're here now. So I'm not building anything with you. This is already built. Just to be clear on that. But let's see what else he has to say.
Enough sex for 3 lifetimes. The rest of that.
So basically, he's like, listen, I'm in my 40s. I just want somebody to love me. I don't care about sex anymore because I already had sex. I already had enough sex. So I don't want sex. I just want somebody to come along and love me. This is what she's hoping for. This is what tired looks like.
You bust a nut here, you bust a nut there, and it leaves you empty. I got men right now.
I like being empty.
I'm like one of the relationships I put together. I told him, he says, I want the kind of relationship you got. I said, well, stop fucking everybody. I said, oh, but he's like, huh? I said, well, stop fucking everybody. I said, you would when you.
So that's what she's hoping for. A man that no longer has a sex drive or a drive for anything other than love. Like, so you got a bunch of kids. You don't have any hair. You actually have more kids than you have inches of hair. It takes hours of makeup time for you to look regular. But you love me. You can offer love. Notice how that's what tired sounds like. When the only criteria you have is something that anybody can offer you. Basically, when she says she was hoping that men are tired, meaning that she was hoping that they're tired of standards and qualifications. And why in the world would a tired man want to deal with a woman with kids? He's tired. He's tired. If he's tired of dealing with the complications of young people, which is what she really means, then you're bringing young people into his life. Why would a tired man begin a relationship and fatherhood? He's tired.
my girlfriends and we both live in the same area and we date in the same age range. And so every few days we have a little chit chat and try to catch up on, dates and convos and stuff like that. So anyway, it's so funny because we always have the same exact story. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're like dating the same people. It's crazy. But what we've come to the conclusion of together is that the older men get, the more reluctant they are to allow themselves to fall in love. And there's just like rule after rule after rule. And there's this new thing that.
Translations. The older men are, the wiser they are. The older men are, the wiser they are. We don't just go around, because we've been around the block. And we don't just go around passing out rings like Halloween candy. Because of love. Are you kidding me?
We kind of get stuck into, which is like pre-dating. So no more is it kind of just like, oh, let's kind of get to know each other for a little bit. Okay, well, we've invested enough to, let's date. No, there's like this whole pre-date phase that can last up to a damn year. And it's just, it's silly. And it's like, that you're dating anyway. It requires the same amount of effort, the same amount of energy, but it's like, there's no title. So it takes all the responsibility off of this man.
Huh? You talk crazy. You talking crazy. So apparently she's experiencing something called predating as opposed to dating. And predating takes longer than dating. You're freaking imbecile. Okay. Here's the level of stupidity we're dealing with. Dating is not a title either. Dating is a non-title that men made up so they can say they're not in a relationship with you. We're not girlfriend or boyfriend, we're just dating. So girlfriend and boyfriend is like pre-fiance, which is pre-marriage. Then dating is pre-marriage. And pre-dating is pre-marriage. But it's all the same thing. It's all just a category that we put you in to further you away from marriage. It's like, yeah. This is pre-marriage. You are my pre-wife. And it really don't matter. If a man don't want to wife you, he could call you whatever he wants. I mean, really, some of these titles is just to excuse, cheating, which is what he's doing. Because you and your girlfriend are looking for men my age, thinking that we're stupid enough to actually take a woman like you seriously. You think we stupid. You think I'm stupid? You think I don't pump and dump chicks like you all the time? What, you think I'm tired of pumping and dumping you? Well, I am. That don't mean I'm going to marry you. I'm tired of unmarriageable women. I'm tired of women who all they have is a box and they think I'm going to marry it. And you think you can leverage it. Like, you think that you taking away the box, I'm just going to go out and get another box. And if you convince all women to leverage the box, then I'll just go boxless. I'm not going to marry an unmarriageable woman. No matter what you do with your box, it's not going to change the fact that you are not marriageable. Hit the like button.
And it's a complete shit show. So there's that. But then I like to use the analogy of chess, or checkers rather, when it comes to what I've experienced with older men. And it's like, okay, so these guys are possibly, most of them are at the point where they're like, okay, I'm looking to settle down. I get it. But so they're trying to settle down, but they have all these rules to how they'll get to that point with you. Exactly. And it's almost like, you know, you're the red player, they're the black player, and they're not willing to move their pieces off the back row in order to win the game. And winning is like marriage, right? If that's your goal, then that is the equivalent to winning the game of checkers. And so what I figured out is that, well, they won't move. But I try to say to them is that there is a equal amount of risk and an equal amount of vulnerability that has to be played together in order to win that game, and in dating. And it's like, you know, you have so many people who are like,
holy crap. That was a bunch of crap. That was a bunch of crap. There's so much wrong with that analogy. First of all, and I think that she started with chess, but she moved to checkers, so let's stay with checkers. First of all, why are you playing against the person? Like, first and foremost, you're completely off. Checkers, just like chess, actually, you can't have a stalemate in chess. So let's stick with checkers. Is a zero-sum game, meaning that there is a winner and there is a loser. Aren't too many ties in chess. Like, I mean, there is to where, you know, both parties is left with one king and nobody's ever going to jump the other king. But let's just say, for the most part, it's a zero-sum game, meaning that there is a winner and a loser. And in your analogy, you are on different teams. You're red, he's black, or vice versa. Meaning that you are trying to have him lose. Of course he's going to resist that. And you are just mad that he is trying not to lose. Somebody who admit to trying to win at the expense of him. So, lady, sweetie, you don't want to play chess with GameChanger. That's for damn sure. You don't want to play checkers either. You don't want to do that. You will lose. And you being stuck in Predate for years is you losing. That is you losing checkers, chess, Chinese chess, sorry, life, Monopoly. That is you losing. That is the sound of you losing. Go for it. Connect 4. It looks like the only game you ever win in life is Hungry Hungry Hippos. This is you losing. And the reason that you're losing is because you are playing against people who have been playing the game for decades. Play with kids. And by kids, I mean play with young men. You're playing with experienced players and you're wondering why you're losing? Jesus. Let's continue. I thought you'd be tired.
Like, listen, this is what I want. I'm not budging, and they will not move off their back row. But it's like, listen, the game goes stalemate. You can't win. I can't win. And now we're just sitting.
Are we talking chess or checkers? Why did you just say stalemate?
Here, and it's two people that want to play. Like, we want to play this game. We want to date.
We don't want to play the game. And this goes back to the prize video, my last video, the prize video. Check it out if you haven't already. We don't want to play. But if the game is amongst us, then we have to play.
But now we can't because you're not willing to budge. And I can't play with you when you don't want to. I can never win. So it's a complete.
Oh, gosh. We're not here to play. Why? What makes you think we're playing? I mean, once again, it's like, okay, this chick want to play checkers. That's fine. Let's just prolong this game as long as possible. And we'll give her pre-dating status while we play this game with her. But until she realized that we're looking for teammates, more specifically helpmates, not somebody who's playing against us, then she's lost. You're lost, sweetie. You're supposed to be on the same team with your mate, playing against something called life. And you haven't realized that.
It's like whatever. It's difficult. And when I was talking to some of my 2 Sundays ago, and I'm like, I don't feel like this is how dating was and would have been in my 20s. I was married at 20, a couple of days before my 21st birthday. So I didn't date all of my 20s. I was married, but I kind of watched my friends date, and I feel like, in your 20s, when there's a lot less risk involved, it's, he doesn't have anything, you don't have anything. And so they're like, okay, well, I like you, you like me. Boom, let's be a couple. And if it doesn't work, we'll break up. It's no big deal. But it's like
if it doesn't work, we'll break up. It's no big deal. Wait. Hey, you're in your 20s. I'm in my 20s. Let's get married. And if it don't work out, we'll break up. It's no big deal. What's the worst that can happen 15 years later? 15 years later, you're sitting here with no damn hair, having to take hours to put makeup on so you can look like this, trying to play checkers against men in their 40s, wondering why you are in the pre-dating zone for over a year. It's no big deal. If it don't work out, we'll just get a divorce. It's no big deal. Let's get married and swear before God and all of our families to stick together, whether times are good or bad and you're happy or sad. What's the verse after that? Dang, that's the only part of that Al Green song that I know. I don't make out, loving you forever. Whether times are good or bad and you're happy or sad. Let me. And then what happens after that? Somebody tell me. How does God dang it? My brain. What happens after that? Yeah. I know the beginning. Am so in love with you. Whatever you want to do. But no, it's not that. Hold on. No, like right after happy or sad. Y'all suck. All right, anyway. The point is that, and she probably played that in the wedding. The point is that the purpose of marriage, you don't get into marriage like, if it don't work, we'll just break up. So let this be an example to people in their 20s. This is what you don't do. Actually, you know something? Oh crap. Hold on. I'm gonna drop the link today. Today is gonna be a link day. And it's rare. But today is gonna be a link day. Not right now, but I'm gonna do it. All right. Let me just do this. And I'm still at work, so I gotta check in and all stuff that I'm doing here. Multitasking. Anyway, let's play some more.
Older people get, they're like, listen, if I give you 4 years and I'm 40 years old now, if I give you 4 years and it doesn't work out on the very last day of my 44th birthday, I've just lost 4 years. So now I'm 44 trying to find this marriage. And, it just doesn't work in their favor, I guess, is what they feel. So they do all this heavy duty pre-screening, which is totally not beneficial to either party. But it's just so unfortunate because I'm like, yeah,
Yes, it is. It is beneficial to pre-screen. There are benefits to pre-screening. You don't like it because you are constantly screened out. And the screen out process for a man is like this. When a woman screens out a man, it goes something like this. Hey, you looking good today. You mind if we get together later on and, get to know each other better? Oh, no, thank you. I got a boyfriend. That is the screen out process for a man. When a woman screens out a man, it's quick, slightly painful, and he goes on with his life. And so does she. The screen out process for a woman is as follows. Like, hey, you look good and, you smell good. You got that Kevin Sanders vibe going on. So let's get together sometime. And he's like, okay, you got any kids? Like, yeah, I got kids with a Z. Do you have any hair? Yeah, I have a little bit, but it's blonde. Okay. What do you offer me? I have a functioning vagina. Okay. And then years later, you're getting the hell screamed out of you. You are getting screened. See, it's a longer process of rejection. It's unfortunate, but because you still have a functioning vagina, we don't just immediately dismiss you. You get screened for a very long time, rigorously. Really for as long as we can. So it is unfortunate, but you were screened out day one. And he just kept screening, a screening. That is what happened to you. And that is what's happening to you. That is why you are like, why are we in predate mode? Because he's screening. He keep on screening. All night long, all night. That's him screening you. All night long, all night. That is how he screens you. It's unfortunate, and I know that you're tired of being screened out, which is why when somebody marries you, you stay married. You don't divorce, re-enter the dating market with kids, complaining that men have a screening process now. He should have had a screening process when y'all got married the first time. If he did, then the moment you say, oh, if it don't work out, we'll just leave, his screens would have been up like, wait, what?
You know, I've run into some really great guys, but they just don't want to budge because at that point, you know, they're stuck in their ways. They don't want to take a whole bunch of risks. It's proven to be a very difficult age range to really penetrate dating. You know,
Really? Men who are wiser with more assets to protect are becoming more protective and using their wisdom? Really? Oh, this is shout out to the Godfather. Can't make this. Like, why are you guys protecting your assets so much? Just give me it. Why aren't you just behaving like you did in your 20s and you had no assets? Why are you behaving like that now? Why don't you just marry a woman with no kids and no hair? Or excuse me, with kids but no hair? All of my girlfriends are saying the same thing.
you know, I like date.
Okay, I'm going to respond to Sir Anthony. I'm happy to hear that men are making things more difficult for them. It is extremely difficult. It is hard out there for a thought. It is. And y'all see these chicks that get married in their 40s and stuff like that, and they like finally got one. See, this woman here, I don't think she's in her 40s yet. Those chicks that you see in their 40s, you know, and they finally find Mr. Right. First of all, these are online chicks, meaning that they have made a presence. They have displayed their vagina to thousands of men, sometimes in this space, which is heavily weighed with single men. They have displayed it. Basically, being in this space for a woman is like being on the Kendra G show every day. It's like being on the Kendra G show every day. Or at least every time you make a video. Going to a sausage fest every time you make a video. So eventually you're going to eat some sausage. But the rank and file women, they have it tough. They have it tough. They have it difficult. Hit the like button. They have it tough and difficult. Trying to figure out penis. I'm thinking back to my 20s and 30s. And I'm thinking about like the older women who tried to lure me in with stuff. And by stuff, I'm talking about like Xboxes and PlayStation. So believe it or not, and fellas, press 2 if y'all think I am full of crap. If y'all think I am completely full of crap, and that this don't happen in real life. Grown woman, not twice my age, but older, like old enough to be my auntie, like my mother's little sister, will try to entice younger men. I'm speaking, maybe it's different now. I'm speaking from when I was younger men. Will try to entice younger men with video games. Okay, so I don't see any twos. So y'all know what I'm saying is true. They would try to entice younger men with video games, but okay, Nanga got the video game. No, what I'm talking about is they would have video game systems in their house that they don't even play. Like, what is a 38 to 45-year-old woman doing with an Xbox? Now, in my day, this was like the first or second Xbox. I stopped playing video games. Like right now, I don't have a video game system in my home. They are trying, like the witch on Hansel and Gretel. It might as well be candy. Like, so they really are we're just trying to like leverage financial stability, to a young man who's at the age where he's not financially stable. I know I wasn't. They use that, and you want to know something else that they use, which is complete and total crap? They use the illusion of a sexual peak. Yeah, PlayStation 2. Yeah, PlayStation also. Yeah. They use the illusion of a sexual peak, meaning that I'm a woman in my sexual prime. No, you are not. That is a lie. That is a lie that you made up in order to entice both younger and older men. This whole I'm in my late 30s, I got to have it, is something about, late 30s that just put women into a sexual frenzy. That is a lie. You want to know how I know it's a lie? Because if you're married or you have married friends, you want to know what you don't hear them say? That all of a sudden in her late 30s, my wife just had to start having it. Ever notice it's only single women that hit that sexual peak in their late 30s, early 40s? Ever notice that? Ever notice that the women who've been married for like 20 years don't all of a sudden just start peaking on their husband? Ever notice that? That whole premenopausal sexual peak thing is a lie. They do that to seduce you. Particularly younger guys who are in their actual sexual peak. They're like, oh yes, we're peaking together. And you thinking like, hey, wait a minute. I just left a party where the girls my age were taking off their clothes on the dance floor. That seems like a peak to me. What, did you peak twice? You got 2 peaks? Like, what's going on here? Back in my day, we had Girls Gone Wild and the white girls was lifting their shirts up and stuff like that. Like, that seems like a peak. Freaknik, once again, I'm older. Freaknik seems like a peak. Lake Berryessa, and those of you from the Bay know what I'm talking about. Lake Berryessa seems like a peak. And then it turned into Lake Comanche because, white people. But, it seems like a peak. Like every place where they have events, spring break seems like a peak to me. Like, what the hell are you doing now at 40? Coachella seems like a peak to me. Burning Man seems like a peak to me. Woodstock seems like a peak to me. What are you doing now? Don't act like girls in their youth are prudish and stuff. No, they peak the same damn time that we do. They peak the same damn time. So they have an actual peak, and then they have this marketing ploy to get you to some gray-haired vajayjay. Anyway, let me continue with this shit.
I'm just naturally attracted to men that are older than me. So I'll probably keep trying, but it has been crazy. So that's just our little, it goes more in depth, and I can totally make more videos about that if there's more specific questions about the different types of dates that I'm gone on, or different like isolated experiences that I've had. So if you have any questions about them, leave them below. I'll chit chat with you. But that's really all I have on that one, on the surface level. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Wow. That's, yeah. Okay. So let me stop the screen share and go to the next video. Then I'll open up I'll open this up because I know y'all just burning to say stuff. So I'll do that. I'll let that happen. I typically don't do panels, but I'm gonna make an exception. All right. So yeah, that's that chick. Let me get to the last and final one. Salute to everybody being here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. So that's her complaining about the men. Now we got one more woman who is talking about dating in her 40s. And once again, I'm not even going to focus on the ones whose looks have diminished. Because truth be told, they have it better. And they have it better because they have first dibs on the men who are desperate. They have first dibs on the men that didn't get any in their 20s and 30s. So, yeah. But not even going to focus on those. We're going to focus on this one. This one right here. Who got the natural locks that I like. I don't like it when they put it up in a Marge Simpson, douche, but I do like the natural. All right, so let me go back to the beginning. All right, so fair use.
Your biological clock is ticking. Society has put so much stress on, you need to get married by this age, you need to start having children by.
They didn't put enough. Society didn't put enough stress on you, or else you would have done it. I can't stand these bros talking about, oh, it's society pressure. Society's putting pressure on us. It's like they're not putting enough because you're not doing the thing that you're claiming society is pressuring you into doing.
By this age. And my acting career got started very late. And what I thought was late, but then I realized some of the greatest artists there are started in their 40s. So I'm actually not as insecure about that as I was before. But
like who? Like, do you mean they're fours? Like Michael Jackson? Like, wasn't Michael Jackson like 4 years old on ABC? Easiest 1, 2, 3. Like, wasn't he like four? What do you mean? Some of the best started in their 40s. Some of the best started like when they were kids. The people who I actually know. You know, Candy Girl, you are my world. Like, wasn't they like 9 or something like that? And that's Ralph Tresvant, Bobby Brown, Belle Biv DeVoe. Like, weren't they like 4? Like, weren't they teenagers? Like, it was just my imagination once again, running away with me. Like, yeah, like most start in their teens and 20s.
I was worried about that. My biological clock is ticking. I found myself attracting like 20-year-olds. And I was like, what is this? I know I don't look 40. That was the
You
first
don't.
thing. I
I'll give
don't
that to
look
you.
like how old I am, but I was attracting young people. And with that, it became a stress because I knew they wanted children. I'm like, okay, these are conversations we have to have. And I always wanted to date somebody that's either my age or a little older. And honestly, they'd already had children because I didn't want that pressure. I don't want the pressure of, okay, if he wants children, I can't give him that. Like, what if I pass that stage in my life? And another thing that's really hard about dating in your 40s is
I'm glad she realized this. I'm glad she realized that. I mean, because that is a real thing. Like, and listen, if you're a decent enough woman, I mean, because I'm not one of these dudes that just put a chick in like pre-dating for a year, unless I don't like her. I'm not gonna waste your time just because, for my own gratification, unless I don't like you, unless I feel what I am doing is somehow karma and poetic justice. And if you say something stupid like, we'll just get married, and if it don't work out, oh well, then yes, you deserve what's coming. Yeah. Huh. But no, a regular chick in her 40s who's just had bad luck and she's looking for love. I'm like, listen, you're looking in the wrong place because um, I want to start a family. I know it's later in life, but I do want to start a family, and that's going to be problematic with the two of us. So at least she realized that, she's at least smart. Like, she at least realizes that, listen, I know that some guys want to start a family and I'm not going to waste his time. I hope you don't waste my time. So I'm going to stick with guys who are already finishing up a family. Now think about how much her mating pool has drastically reduced, because what she's dealing with is baby daddies and divorcees. And this is a woman who obviously is used to having her dating pool was the ocean.
for me is finding a man that's not intimidated.
Oh God, here we go.
I've dated, and then men see how I'm living, and it's like, oh, I can't keep up with that. And I'm like, I don't need you to keep up. The things I need from you, of course, I want someone who has something going on with for themselves. Of course, I want somebody who can do the things for me that I can do for them, but it doesn't have to always be on the level that I do it, because that's not what I need you for. I need love. I need affection. I need the love languages. And there's 5, and I need all of them. I need someone that is emotionally supportive to me, someone that supports my career. And I've found that a lot of men are not in a space of maturity or even have the bandwidth to give me that. They're so used to just buying women and, oh, I'll go do this, I'll pay for this. And
okay. She's highly focused on what she wants from a man and not what she offers as a woman. And that just may be the topic of the show, but or maybe the person off camera asked a question. the reason why this sounds bad is because when she says support what she's doing, that's really, generally speaking, or traditionally speaking, what women did to men. So now, don't get me wrong, a couple can mutually support each other in their goals. I don't really think that that's what she's looking to do. I hope that I'm wrong.
And everything's gonna be okay. No, like I need you to be my homie, my lover, and my friend. And that's where I feel like even dating, I just haven't found all three of those things in a man. When I think about some of my like worst and best dates, one of the best dates I ever had, I was living in DC. And this was when The Devil Wears Prada was out. Anybody who knows me knows I can quote The Devil Wears Prada from top to bottom. Like, I love that movie. And I had never taken a train ride before, so we took the
Red flag. Once again, it's not enough of a red flag to make me just want to like feel that she deserves to get pumped and dumped over a prolonged period of time. But it is a red flag. I mean, because movies like that is, of course, produced by Prada. Let's be okay. Notice, people. A lot of the entertainment, especially nowadays, that's out there isn't really their main source of income isn't ticket sales. The main source of income is an industry. And then, of course, and it's obvious in this one. In most movies, it's not so obvious. In most movies, it's not so obvious because what they're doing is a company or a series of companies or a group of companies are paying the movie industry to promote a certain lifestyle. And that lifestyle will get the people buying their product. So in this case, it's obvious Prada made a movie called The Devil Wears Prada, and it's about a young girl who works for Prada, and she wants to be like this woman who wears Prada, and she goes from a plain Jane to a woman who wears Prada, and she's just enjoying the lifestyle that she leads wearing Prada, and she's a successful white woman wearing Prada. Like it's beyond product placement. The Foreign Pretty Boy. It's beyond product placement. Product placement is like, Superman drinks a soda with the label pointing at the camera and stuff like that. That's product placement. They're selling an entire lifestyle. Sex in the City it's lifestyle placement. It's because it's not a particular product. I mean, even though there's product placement in it, they're selling a lifestyle. And that lifestyle is to prolong traditional marriage and go out and buy crap, have a shoe closet full of shoes. And then the product placement comes in as to what particular type of shoes. But first, we got to get you in the lifestyle of wanting a whole damn closet, dedicated to shoes. We got to get you into that. We want you to use your spare bedroom, not as a guest bedroom, because who needs guests? And not as a children's room, because who has kids? No, we want this to be a shoe room. And then once we get you in that mindset, then, we'll leave it to the magazines to figure out what shoes to put into that shoe room. So no, they're lifestyle placements. So she's a part of that. The moment I hear stuff like that, I immediately get turned off. I tell you one time, and this is a girl that I didn't have any romantic involvement with. I wouldn't mind it, but I think she was in the women. Well, I know she was in the women, but I don't know. Okay. I know she had a boyfriend in the past. And I know that she was seeing girls at the time that I met her. I don't know if she still sees guys, because a lot of women, they just find out, we were young. We were in our 20s. They just find out that they are into women. So I don't know where she was at, if she was bi or lesbian. So, but she said something about shoes that really turned me on, and that was she bought these shoes. They're called Tops or Toms. I think they're called Toms. And apparently, the way Toms work is that, and they're very cheap shoes. They're nothing glamorous. They're nothing spectacular. They're not red bottomed or anything like that. You know, but apparently they're made from all natural this, and this. But for every pair that you buy, somebody in a developing country gets a free pair. And I was like, dang, that shit turns me on. And it did. It did. I developed a light crush for her just because of that. So women like this has that opposite effect on me, in spite of their physical appearance. All right, moving on.
The train from DC to New York. He took me to Nobu 57. And this is like when Nobu was like just starting to pop, because it was in every rap song. So like it was like, oh, we're going to Nobu tonight. So we went to Nobu, and then the next day he took me to see The Color Purple. After the play,
oh my gosh,
he took me to Smith and Lewinsky, which was the restaurant that Meryl Streep had Anne Hathaway go get her lunch. And when she brought it, she goes, oh, pissed. So she takes the plate and throws it in the sink, and the plate cracks and all this stuff. So we went there. We got the exact same steak that Meryl Streep had ordered, or that Anne Hathaway had ordered for Meryl Streep. And I was like, this is the most thoughtful Valentine's Day I've ever had, and probably still one of the most thoughtful weekends. So I was like really planned out for me. And then we got back home. He bought me my first Louis Vuitton bag, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if you were wondering why you have trouble dating, and trust me, I actually feel bad for her because it's not her fault. Like this stuff is being like pushed into her. And, she's in her 40s, so it's been pushed into her for 40 years. I can't really, fault the person who's the victim of brainwashing. But okay, I'm just set all that aside and say that you're not my type. And it's not just because of the age; it's because you were younger when this story happened. But you're not my type because you're label dropping. You had a Color Purple, obviously, but you're label dropping. You're name dropping, you're label dropping, and stuff like that. And quite frankly, that's really just not my type. I don't have, like I wear Nikes now, like I didn't for years. But since they backed Colin Kaepernick, I started wearing them. But that's just not my style. And what's worse about you is that you don't present that way. Like when I see dreads and stuff, I see like more of a hippie type, minimalist type vibe, which is something I would assume is you. And then once I start hearing you talk, I'll just be like, oh crap, But yeah, so just so you know, that's where that is.
Found out that he was a scammer. Yeah. They always say when things seem to be too good to be true, they probably are. And I was like, Lord, how does this man work for the government and he's scamming? he had this man, and I don't want to be stereotypical because if you live in Atlanta, we know there's a lot of scammers, and most of them are of African descent. So he had this African friend who he's like, he owed him some money, and he's like, hey babe, can whatever his name was put this money in your account? So I was like, sure.
What?
So I wake up one morning and there's like, I wake up and there's like $1 million, a negative $1 million on my bank statement. I'm like,
Wait. A guy says, hey baby, could this guy put some money into your account? And you say, okay. Okay, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that. I do not know what to make of that. Like, I have to say that because I think the first question would be why? Why are you putting money into my account?
a negative $1 million. I'm like, first of all, I'm working for the government. I know I ain't making no $1 million. I'm like, and who put out $1 million? It wasn't saying negative. So I called the bank and they were like, oh, that's because there's a fraud alert on your account because the money that was deposited the other day was actually stolen. What? Y'all, I cannot make this shit up. So like on my lunch break, I had to go to Bank of America and put out an affidavit to let them know it wasn't me. And they're like, no, we know it wasn't you. And but I couldn't have an account with them for like years because of that. It was crazy. So you got to be careful who you date and get to know people because it was real good and then it got real bad. Let's see, another bad date. I want to tell y'all some funny stories. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I haven't really like been in a serious relationship since 2017. So the dating has been very far and few between. But I dated this other guy who was a little older.
Okay.
And one of my biggest pet peeves is someone who doesn't tip well.
I don't tip well.
Judge me if you want to, but I feel like when there are people in hospitality, you should take care of them, especially if they look out for you, and especially if I'm taking to.
I don't tip well. I don't tip well. As everyone knows, I'm a frugal man. I do anywhere but twice the tax or 150% of the tax, meaning the tax plus 50% of the tax. And that's only in restaurants. I do not tip if I go get a Jamba Juice or a Starbucks coffee or something like that. Because now they have the machines and it's like, how much do you want to tip? And I don't tip anything. I don't do DoorDash because I'm a frugal man. I drive and get my own damn food. And when I do, I don't tip.
I actually set the reservation up because that was another thing. I was always having to set up everything. I'm like, bro, dog, like, can you do anything? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand that about men who, like, it's like the courtship has been lost. Like, how men used to like send flowers.
Oh,
I'm talking about that too. How men used to send flowers. Take time in advance to set up. Hey, I want to take you out on this day. They wait till the day of, like, oh, what are you doing tonight? There's no initiative anymore. We're gonna talk about the flowers real quick. So I love flowers. Anybody who knows me knows that I love flowers.
Okay.
Do you know how I dated this guy? And he literally looked me in my face and said, do you know why I haven't gotten you flowers? And I was like, why? I do want to know. Actually, yes. And he said, because you want them. What sense does that make? He said, but when I do it, he said, it's going to be so elaborate. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. And I was like, you're making no sense. If you know this is a part of my love language and this is something.
Okay. Okay. What she means to say is that, or what he means to say, and he probably did say this, but she misinterpreted it, is that you expect them. I'm not giving you flowers because you expect them, which means that you don't really appreciate them, because it's more of a requirement than it is a an appreciation, a gift, so to speak. So he's saying, what I will do is that I will give them to you under circumstances which you will appreciate them.
That makes me happy, do it, because I do that for you. And that's another thing, understanding like how people need to be loved, because the way I love may not be the way my man needs to be loved. So understanding that, hey, okay, Crystal's love language is all the love languages. So let me make sure at some point I'm touching her. Let me make sure at some point I give her affection. Make sure at some point I give her affirmations. I give her gifts. I do acts of service for her. And I feel like that's all encompassed in a relationship. And I'm not saying do all those things every single day, but like just consistently let me know, hey babe, I see you, I hear you, and I feel you. And when he did that, I was just like, okay, this is crazy. I was like, you're not my guy. You can go. And the other guy who didn't tip well, it was just like, if you don't treat, I feel like if you don't treat the way you treat like waiters and people who are there to serve you, if you don't treat them right, that's an immediately dismissal for me. Even when I think about like the dating process as a 40-year-old woman, it's not the same as it was in my 30s. Like, sis don't have time. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Like, I'm not applying the pressure like day one unless I really, really like you. I'm like, is you my husband or my cousin? Because I need to know, what are we doing? Apply the pressure because I like you. But I do like to take time to get to know my person. I am big on referrals. I really do not like meeting strangers. I want to know somebody that knows you to be like to vouch for you and say, okay, yeah, this person is.
I will say that that is the best way to date. So she is smart for that. I think that at her age, she's expired all of her referrals. Um, like, I mean, because she has friends, and so she's by now have dated all of her friends of friends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so now, and that's why she went, from 2017. That's why it's been a huge gap, and that's because she's exhausted that limited pool. Um, Somebody said something interesting. It says, "Why are you frugal, sir? You don't make much money." It's not really. Somebody said that's a dumb comment. Yeah, it's not okay. That comment is extremely ill-informed, and the reason for that is because there really isn't much of a correlation, and if there is, it's probably a correlation in the opposite direction. That's why like a dude from the hood who works at Walmart, um, shoes cost more money than Bill Gates shoes or Mark Zuckerberg's sandals. They're yeah, it's kind of it's very ill informed, brother. I don't really know what to say to that. But no, it's yeah, I don't really know what to say to that.
Isn't crazy or background check on you. I just want me to feel safe. And then even with my success, like I have to be more strategic about the type of men that I even am around. I have to make sure that you just don't have a lot going on, that you're here for the right reasons. Even like the dating phase. Like before, I could go a year and still be wondering, like, what are we doing? Now, after a few months, like, okay, we know each other. Like, what are we doing? Like, are we gonna make this thing official? You trying to put a ring on it? You trying to be my life partner? What? Um, but it's definitely a situation where I'm open. I used to like just stay in the house all the time. And I was like, Crystal, you're never going to find a man if you don't leave the house. But y'all, even that, even just getting ready, putting the makeup on, doing your hair, finding an outfit, going to shop for an outfit because you feel like I don't have nothing to wear. And then you get out there and nobody approaches you. What am I doing? I find myself coming home. I done spent.
Okay. Two things I have to say about that. One is that, okay, there's one or two things that are going on here. Women have a way of not noticing guys that they're not interested in. So she could get approached by 10 guys that she's not interested in, and then she says no one's approaching her. That's one thing. That's one possibility. And another possibility, and I think that this one is a little bit more probable, is that guys aren't approaching her. That guys generally are no longer approaching her. And though she don't look it, I can understand why. And this goes back to the other woman, the one that was eating pizza. She was, she's online thirst trapping. This goes to Tia Mowry. It's like, listen, tits and ass is in the right place. You don't appear to have any diseases or deformities or anything, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's just like a certain essence that a woman of a certain age gives that it's like, okay, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but let's see why she's not being approached.
$200 on a meal and drinks and still ain't got no action. What's going on? I'm still trying to figure it out. And people are like, men don't approach you. I'm like, no, nobody approaches me. I'm like, I don't know if I look like I'm mean, or some people say I'm unapproachable. Other people say, oh, you look like you already got a man. I'm like, I don't. I don't know if I need to just put a sign on back. I'm single, ready to mingle. Maybe holla. But like I try to like be more conscious of like smiling at people, starting conversation or saying hello, just so the guy can know like, okay, she's interested, or that was an invitation to have a further conversation. But y'all don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Help me. I need somebody to respond to this and tell me what I need to do, because your girl needs help. And one of the biggest things for me is being intentional. And I let people know straight out the gate. Listen, if you're not intentional, I'm in a very intentional space in my life right now. I know what I want. I know what I'm ready for. I know what I bring to the table. So when you come into this table,
what do you bring to the table? And once again, I can't stand this table talk, but what do you bring to the table? Because here's what you don't bring. Kids. And believe it or not, that is, for many men, that is the only reason to get into a serious relationship, myself included. That's not just like one of the reasons, that is the only reason to turn a girlfriend into a wife. That is the only benefit. That is the only thing that it is advantageous to have a wife in that position versus a girlfriend. So you don't bring that. You accept Louis Vuitton bags as a gift. So this is what you want him to bring to the table, that and flowers all the damn time. Like, so you've made it clear what you want him to bring to the table. Vagina is what you're bringing to the table, but okay, there's that's something. Yeah.
I need you to understand, ain't no half-assing, ain't no like, oh, I'll call her when I want to call her. I'm gonna carry her any kind of way. Certain times, like in my 30s, I felt like I had a little more grace.
Essentially, what you're saying is you're demanding more and offering less than you did in your 30s. In your 30s, you had more grace and for stuff. And now keep in mind that the last time you dated, you were in your 30s because you're 40 now, and you say that the last time you dated was 2017. So like 6 years ago. So the last time you dated, you were in your mid 40s or in your mid 30s, and you haven't dated in your 40s. So right now, what you're doing is you're just bringing a list of criteria for men that you know are not looking to meet those criteria. They're not even trying. They're not even approaching your criterias.
More because I wasn't as secure in who I am. But now I'm not putting up with that. I need you to come in knowing what you want and saying, hey, I see you and I know you're a good woman. I know I need to take this serious. Even if it's just as a friendship, I need to come in here knowing that I need to get to know you. I'm not playing with you, and where it goes is where it goes. I may have even put up with like cheating. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with that, and I would forgive and be like, it's okay, because I struggled with, and I still kind of struggle with this. I'm still trying.
Once again, diminish value. Because essentially, before, what you're saying is that in 2017, let's say you were 34 years old, a man could have you and have some side action going on. So you're offering less. You're offering less because now you're saying at 40 that he won't even get side action, and he gets the JJ that's 6 years older than it was when you were 34. So you're offering less. You're offering less, sweetie. While demanding more commitment.
Trying to figure this part out. How we put marital expectations on dating. So we're not married, but I don't want you. I want you to be monogamous, exclusive. I want you to treat me like your wife, and I want all the rewards of a husband, and we're not married. So I had a friend of mine. She was like, "I just believe that you're single until you're married. Until you're married, like it's not under God, but we know at some point it has to be like, okay, this is the decision. This is what I'm doing." And I would put up with a lot of things because I was like, well, like he's got to get it out of his system, and I would make excuses for him. And then I would also try to justify, well, yeah, we're not married, so technically you can do what you want to do until we get married. But at what point does the man say, you know what, I'm ready to go ahead and start practicing being a husband, because I know you're going to want me to cook, you're going to want me to clean, keep the house right, keep my body right. You're going to want me to put it down right. You're going to want me to carry myself in a certain way. And all that encompasses a wife. And I feel like that was something that I dealt with that I probably wouldn't deal with in my 40s. Something else I dealt with in my 40s was inconsistency. I mean, in my 30s, something I felt dealt with in my 30s was inconsistency. I would allow man to just kind of come in and come out. I had a lot of relationships where it was off and on, and whenever he called back,
Okay. So at least she listed what she's looking for or what she's offering. She did say that she stay in shape, and she did. And she cooks and cleans, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and make sure everything, which really just is all the JJ stuff besides the cook and clean. But she is offering more than many. It's just that she's there's one major thing that she don't and can't offer myself. Yeah, at least she's aware of that too.
We were back on. We'd fade out, and then I would do what I was doing. He would do what he was doing. And then he'd call and say he missed me, and it was like, okay, we back. You know, I had a guy that I did that with for like 6 years. It was like off and on, off and on. And to this day, it's funny. They're like, you know, that's your husband. I'm like, no. They was like, well, he still ain't with nobody. And I'm like, yeah, because you got issues.
Okay, so I'm put the link out there, and I'll put the link out there because I have a question. I have several theories, several answers to this, but I'm gonna just put it out there. Why are these chicks, particularly black women, why do their demands increase as their values decrease? I repeat, why do their demand increase as their value decrease? To put it in perspective, it would be the equivalent to, say, a brand new car of a certain make and model costs brand new $25,000, right? And then after 10 years, they charge $30,000 for it. And I'm not talking about, because it's vintage, because it's classic or anything like that. I'm talking about because it's been driven for the last 10 years hard. And yet nothing. Like, I mean, and for some reason it's more valuable. And not only that, anybody who takes that deal would be paying more for it than they would for the same car when it was brand new. And the people that drove it. It's very weird. Like, she's not realizing that the guys that you want to date can and are dating you at the same mindset that you had at 34. Very weird.
He has commitment issues. And I was like, that's not my husband. Something else that I dealt with in my 30s that I would not do now is the lying. Like, let's just say this. I put up with a lot of shit that I would not put up with now. And that's because I don't have the tolerance. I have zero tolerance for lying, cheating, for inconsistency, for someone who, a deal breaker for me is someone who's not like a man of God, who doesn't want to go to church. Like, I need somebody that I can do everything with. I don't want to just we go on vacations together. We go
I wonder
to
if
dinner
the church thing is
together.
new.
We go to ball games together. We do all the things together. But on Sundays, I'm the only one going to church. That ain't gonna work for me. I need somebody that's like, baby, we're gonna pray together too, because we got to keep this thing tight. And that's, for me, is like one of the biggest things. I always say, when people are like, what are you looking for in a man? And I always say, I want a man that has to seek God to get to me. When they see me, they're like,
What?
ooh, I can't go about the same way I done went with all these other women. I got to go with this woman different.
Okay. Once again, I don't hate her, but I really don't like her, and I wouldn't date her. And okay, let me tell you about the God thing. And this is coming from a guy who is square presenting, right? Let's call myself that. I'm a nerd, and women who see me, and I've met YouTubers and stuff, but nobody would accuse me of being something other than that. From my physical appearance. Well, maybe, but still. But they wouldn't assume that it's something bad. Let's say that. Women like convenient tropes, so they know your playbook. They know exactly what it is you're doing because you meet this convenient trope. You're not a dynamic human being. You're just like a character in a movie that they can predict, that they have seen already. Which is why they tend to go for types, and they put guys into these types and labels and stuff like that, so they know exactly how they can deal with them. For example, like Pookie Ray Ray would be a type of guy, and they know how to seduce. According to them, the way they feel is they know how to seduce and manipulate this individual guy, because all Pookie Ray Ray reads from the same playbook. Same with educated lames, same with nerds, um, same with church guys. Well, church guys is different because it's literally written in the Bible, their playbook. So they know and they think we're that simple. But even Pookie Ray Ray strays off script. Even nerds stray off script. Educated language, like we all go off script when it's convenient for us to do so. That's why you're hearing about these pastors, um, you know, doing things with their male congregation, or these pastors doing things with their female congregation. Like we all go off script, and that confuses them, and it quite frankly frustrates them that we are more than our label. But they need that label because they like, okay, um oh, here come Pookie, let me get my weed out. And then, oh, here come Ernest being an educated lame, so let me just talk about my degree or some crap like that. They really think they doing something. They really they, I don't know if it's a lot of unintelligent brothers out there. I think that it is. I think that that's part of it. Um, but even with that being a case, I really think that they think that we're a lot stupider than we are.
Lord, help me secure this because I know if I do it, I'm gonna mess it up. I need you to seek him first before you step over here, okay? Secondly, how he treats his mother. I want him to my mother always say, watch how a man treats his mom because that's how he's gonna treat you, and it's so true. Um,
Okay, dang. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. Her, her excuse me. I pause because I'm trying to gather the words, but her saying this really shows how short-sighted she is. Whenever anybody, male or female, say something like that, it really shows how short-sighted they are, because it assumes that the mother is a good person. Oh, how he treats his mother is how he's going to treat you. Well, maybe the mother is a piece of crap. Did you ever think of that? Like Tupac's mom, like Eminem's mom. Like maybe he's treating her that way. Maybe Eminem, because Tupac, he didn't find out until later, but like maybe Eminem is treating his mom like that, with the song, the fuck you Betty, like with all that, like maybe he's treating his mom like that because she deserves it.
I look at how he is around his friends, the company that he keeps, how he is when I bring my friends around. Because a lot of times you can kind of tell when you bring them in different environments. You're like, okay, I see how you carry yourself. I want somebody that I can take in any room, whether we with the president of the Atlanta Hawks suite or we are at a children's center helping some kids. Like I want to know that I can put you in any room and you're gonna adapt, and I can go to the bathroom. You're not going to embarrass me, okay? Because some folks you cannot leave unattended. Another thing that I look for in a man.
What kind of dudes has she's been dating that embarrasses her? Yeah. All right, hold on, let me.
Is honesty and integrity. Integrity is so important because if you don't have that, it's just everything else starts to crumble. The way he handles himself, takes care of his body, that's important. And I've noticed that like the older I get, it's less about the physical. Don't get me wrong, like that's we got eyes. That's the first thing you see. You see the person, you're like, dang, okay, what's up, daddy? And then it's like, okay, but what else you got? You know what I'm saying after that. But I still want to be like, okay, I see you. But I've noticed that the older
Hit the
I
like
get,
button.
the less important the physical is. It's more about your spirit and your soul. And I've found like I've given guys who may not be worldly, like the quote unquote like world definition of fine, and then I get to know and I'm like, wow, you really are fine. You may not be like what the world deems beautiful, but like your spirit is so beautiful. I dated this one guy, and he
Why are you not with those guys? Okay, let's hear this out. Okay, just so y'all know, I only, because this is like 40 minutes long, and I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I only watched like the first couple minutes of this. I think right around the time where she said something about the scammer. It was like, oh, okay, I got to share this story, and then like on the show, I just played it through.
was Muslim, and my parents were so mad. They were like, "You are that's unequally yoked. Like you shouldn't date somebody who's not Christian." And I was like, and this is really kind of what changed my view on religion, but we'll talk about that in a second. And I was like, but nobody's ever loved me the way he has. This guy was the kindest person. He loved the
Why are
way
you
I
not
love. I
with
love really
him?
hard. He loved hard. There
Why are
was
you not with
nothing
him?
that I didn't have to ask for
She's about to
anything.
say
If he
but.
saw that I needed it, it was done.
She about to say
I was
but.
like, he was so attentive. We're
But
still good friends to this day. And he came to my college graduation. He got to meet my family. After this man met my family, they were like, "Oh my God, we love him," because they saw what I saw,
but
and just a beautiful, beautiful soul. But taking it
yeah,
back
there we
to the
go.
religion
Y'all see
part,
that, right?
um,
Y'all see that, right? Did I not keep in mind? I only watched up to how she got scammed. I knew it was a butt coming. Oh, he's just this. 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 But
because of that, and the way my parents reacted to that whole unequally yoked thing, because of the way the way he made me feel and the way he loved me, it started to make me think that religion was just put in place to give people rules to live by, to like so that people could be good. And in all the religions, there's like one thing in common is love your neighbor as yourself. Like be good to people. How you treat people is what's going to come back to you. And if
this is
the
a
whole
bad
world
thing to
followed
her.
that, it would be such a loving world. And I haven't studied like deeply all the different religions, but I feel like it was all put into place so that we can just be good people and have some type of rules to live by, so we're not reckless. But
But
that was mine. He's the only Muslim I've dated. Honestly, like I used to want like the hot boy, you know what I'm saying, that had it going on, the most.
wow, utter trash. Utter trash. I mean, was it just me? Keep in mind, I'm watching this first time with y'all. Was it just me? Or were we all wondering, like, why are you not sucking his penis right now? And she didn't answer that? She did not answer that. Like, she said but twice, and I'm like, okay, but. Like, yeah, we're just, and then she just, like, changed the subject. It's like, why aren't you with this guy? Oh, beautiful soul, and why aren't you with this guy? why aren't you with this guy? Because you kind of trailed off like all religions are the same, and then, like the major religions are Abrahamic, yes, but I mean, it's why aren't you with this guy? And she was like, my parents didn't approve, but when they met him, they loved him. It's like, okay, so why aren't you with this guy? Well, we're still friends to this day. Why aren't you with this guy? I haven't been in a serious relationship since 2017. So why didn't you go back to this guy? Straight trash.
Popular, even from like high school. I always dated like the star of the football team. College, I dated the star of the basketball team. And then it was a phase of my life where I started to attract like dudes that was making a lot of money. And I was in college, and that was when I was exposed to like my first like millionaire boyfriend. And I was like, whoa, this is a different life. And being exposed to that at a very young age was like, it was a lot, and then you get exposed to it, and that's what it's almost like a drug. It's like you get addicted to the life, the access, everything that comes with that. And I saw that like it was a trend. I continued to attract that type of man, somebody that was always like high in stature. And I think it was, and I started to even look at men like, okay, yeah, I just want somebody to take care of me. I had that mentality because I didn't have nothing going on. But when I started having something going on and the table started turning, I was making my own money. I was standing on my own 2 feet. I didn't have to depend on him to pay my bills. I could do it on my own. That's when I started looking for different things in a man. I was looking for somebody to take care of me when I was younger. But as I
Okay. Palandra 08, let's not drop M bombs here. And it's not that it's a major thing typically, but it's a major thing right now. So I'm gonna ask you to remove that yourself. Moderators, don't help them. I'm gonna ask you to remove that yourself. With everything that's going on in the you know between those countries, let's just play it cautious. So yeah, go ahead and take care of that for me. But what I'm gonna say about her. Okay, so yeah, I guess I can understand where she's coming from. It is hard to go regular after you've dated millionaires and stuff like that, but you wasn't really focused on securing relationships like a lot of women when they should. That's all. That's all I have to say about that.
started to come into my own, I was like, no, like I need something deeper. Like it's not all about the fame, it's not about the riches, because those men, and I'm not putting all men who make a lot of money or men of stature and high status in the same box, but it's a lot that comes with that life. And you deal with infidelity, you deal with ego, you deal with a lot of loneliness because they're always busy. And those are things like, okay, do I want that? Like, is this the life I want? Do I want to be by myself all the time while he's out doing God knows what? Because he feels like he can't.
How simple are you? You're by yourself now. You're by yourself right now. Right now, you are by yourself, and you have been since 2017. I can't get with any of those guys because then I'll be lonely when he's at work. Okay.
And because he's the one bringing all the money in. So when I started making my own money, my whole idea of what I wanted in a man started to change. And not saying that my success defines me, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that it didn't boost my confidence and make me like, I don't need you. I can do this on my own. I want you. And there's a difference between needing somebody and wanting somebody. When you want them, it's a
These chicks do not hear them. I'm so hungry. I'm be honest. I think I'm gonna cut it Maybe I gave y'all like 10 more minutes, but I am starving. I am starving. So, but which is why I'm not even thinking straight. And this chick is just like messing with my hungry brain right now. So she falls into a typical pattern. She feels that men, even though she's a good Christian woman, apparently men exist to furnish her with money, with resources. And if she has her own resources, she don't need men because that's all men are good for. Is furnishing her with resources. But now that she has her own, she don't need men. But she still wants men to want them.
Choice. I'm making a choice to be with you. When I need you, it's like, nigga, I'm not gonna be able to survive if I don't have you. And the need turns into something different. Like I need that spiritual connection. I need you mentally, like you have my heart and my soul now.
Okay, so
It's
this
not
is her
all like
discovering
tangible things.
that she
When
needs
now
men for something
for where
other
I
than
am
money.
now. But yeah, it's definitely changed. I look more on the inside than the outside. It's not all about what you can do for me at this age.
It's too
It's
late.
about how you can feed me.
It's too late.
And that's what it really is. How can you feed me? How can you feed my spirit? How can I learn from you? There's guys that like literally can be top NBA players that like, Crystal, I would marry you tomorrow. And I'm like, bruh, the conversation is horrible. Like, I'm a sapiosexual. You get me here, you gonna get me there. Okay? you gotta
So y'all may be wondering why I take stuff like this seriously. What I was saying before about her liking the movie The Devil Wears Prada and stuff like that. And it's not that I really am. I have this thing against women who are not frugal or who are not minimalists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's nothing like that. The reason why I have something against that is because women like that are heavily influenced by modern media and modern entertainment. They're heavily influenced by it. And the byproduct of that is that they're extremely confused. What we're seeing now is a woman who's extremely confused to where she don't know what she wants and she don't even know what she don't want, but she still wants the option to choose what she don't want. It's very weird because in one instance she's like, got to be a millionaire, got to have this and this. I dated the ballers, I dated this and this, but they didn't have this. They didn't have the extra time, so I was lonely at times. And now I just want somebody spiritual, like this Muslim guy that just feeds my soul. But, I got rid of him for no reason. And we're still friends, though. And, now I can still just date anybody in the NBA. But the conversation, because I'm sapiosexual, it's like, okay, Miss Sapiosexual, let me ask you this. How much of your life did you spend with a guy who solely stimulated your mind and your mind alone? How much of your life did you actually spend on that? And that's a fair question, because outside of that, you're not really sapiosexual. Somebody brought up a good point. Women are never sapiosexual in their 20s. The ones that are married in their 20s, and they're not on their couch in the 40s having this conversation. That's for sure. Okay, put it like this. There's levels to it. Every woman wants a guy with intelligence. So they think that they're sapiosexual. But I would say that a sapiosexual person is that that's their primary, if not their sole, attraction point. But everybody wants somebody smart. Or every woman wants a man that's smart. You're not fucking sapiosexual. And I really don't think, for one, I know that you're not like dating. Okay. Notice how earlier in this video, she couldn't get a guy to ask for her number, but now she's like, oh, I can get an NBA player. I could get an NBA player and have him wanting to marry me. You see how she's all over the freaking place? So 1 minute you telling me that you can't get Norm Peterson from Cheers to hit on you at Cheers, but the next minute you could just get like an NBA dude, and all of these dudes are a little more than half your age. But yeah, come on now, it's not making sense. You're sapiosexual, but when you were young you went after the top athlete, but it's like no, you are all over the damn place. Devil Wears Prada.
Get the mind first. I'm like, every time I'm on the phone with you, I'm like, and I know you'll buy me every Chanel collection, everything in Gucci. You'll take me on every trip I want to go on. But when we there, what we talking about? Like, it's something about that. Like, I have to be stimulated mentally. So those are the things I look for now as a 40-year-old, and that's what the difference is for sure. A man that's hollering at 40-year-old Crystal needs to come with some confidence.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that you just became sapiosexual in October? That would mean that you're not very sapio yourself.
Some swag. He got to come knowing.
Has to come with confidence and swag.
Like, I need to see that you know that you can handle me.
Oh my gosh. She is all over the damn place. Listen, it's nothing wrong with her wanting these things. These even top athletes are not. It's really nothing wrong with her wanting these things. The problem is that she's all over the place with what she wants, and she swears that I know exactly what I want now.
Because I don't feel like you can handle me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to run all over you. Like, I need to know that when you come to me, you come with intention. It's like, listen, like, this is where in my life, I want to get to know you. I want to take you serious. Come to me single. Don't be having a whole bunch of stuff going on. Okay. Some scrag.
Exactly. She's hitting every cliche imaginable, and that's because there's no depth to her. And I knew that the moment she said, my favorite movie is The Devil Wears Prada. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. She's here like, yes, Like my favorite movie is The Devil Wears Prada because it has so much Prada in that movie, and I like the Prada in The Devil Wears Prada. So that was one of my favorite movies because of the Prada in The Devil Wears Prada. And then I like color purple because I love purple and the color purple, and I like Chick Avery because she's so strong and independent, and she reminds me of me, just a strong independent woman, and that's what I like. I like Prada, and oh, and by the way, I'm sapiosexual. Oh really, what was the last book that you read? The last book that I read was The Devil Wears Prada because she wears Prada. But I am capable of in-depth conversations and thoughts, like, because I can really talk about Prada and all of these shoes that I like, and look at all the stuff that I have. But I am a person of intellect, and it turns me on when somebody can match my intellect. This chick is nuts. She's nuts, almonds, cashews, and stuff like that. I bet you it's squirrels right outside her door right now, just waiting to cannibal, or not cannibalize her, but they're just waiting to eat her nutty ass. Like, this chick is nuts. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so all right, so tell me who this is, because apparently she's a music person. I don't listen to new music, but I don't. I didn't know that she was a somebody. Like, I didn't know that she was a famous person, and she's probably not. To be quite frank, she's probably not. She's just like more famous than she was at 30 or some crap like that, but still not famous. Sir Anthony, thanks a lot. I appreciate you, brother. And got one more. Hold up. Jay says something for ordering in. Stay focused, brother. I appreciate you, but I am not going to order in. I do not do the DoorDash, the Uber, and stuff like that. No matter how hungry I am, I will drive to save a buck. Like I say, I am a frugal man. I am a frugal man. What the hell? You not what are you talking about? GameChanger. What the hell you got going on over here? Talking about dating over 40. All right, let's continue. I'm starving over here. I'm already 2 minutes past. I'll do like one more snippet.
Let's go ahead and let them fall by the wayside before you come over here, because I need you to be open to receive all that your blessings that God has for you. Because I'm a blessing. Okay?
Hold
I need you to know I'm a blessing. I had one guy that was like, no, Crystal, he's like, I just wonder sometimes.
Hold on. What happened? That was strange. That was strange. Yeah, it just went off for no reason. But here, let me get it back. Okay.
A blessing because he's in a very um he's in a very evolutionary phase of his life where talking about he is doing amazing things. And he's like, and I wonder because of where I am, and I'm in a phase where I have to be selfish. And there are phases in life where you have to focus on yourself. He's like, am I missing my blessing? And I looked up at him. And if the timing is right and we're supposed to be together, we'll be together when the time is right. And if not, you're a great friend. And I'm here for you. I support you. But you're not about to play.
That doesn't make any sense. None of this is making sense. Is it okay that I'm selfish because I'm thinking about myself? And it's like, no. Sometimes you got to think about yourself. You got to put yourself, like, yeah, this is so. But you said he was missing his blessing. Okay, this chick, gosh, this gets annoying real quick.
Play with me. We can be cool. We got to keep it just like this. Keep it friendly. Don't play with me when you know that's not what you're ready for. So he's got to be intentional. He's got to be ready for open for something serious, because I'm telling you, like, when you come over here, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it here, and you're not gonna leave. So yeah, he got to come confident, become intentional, and ready. So I talked about it. I said that I love referrals. But in 2019, my friends were like, Crystal, why are you single? Like, you are such an amazing woman. Like, I know there's somebody out there for you. And I had two friends that had met on Raya, which is this like high-end elite dating site. You got to get vetted. So like anybody.
So just so you know, Raya is that same site that Simone Biles met Jonathan. Oh, I forget Jonathan's last name. They should have the same last name, but life when you're a top athlete or entertainer, you want to keep your same brand. But nevertheless, that's the same site.
You just can't sign up for this site. And I was like, okay, like I felt a little more comfortable and safe about it, because for me, like, I've heard the horror stories of people meeting on dating sites, and this is not everybody's story. But for me, and my scary behind, I'm like, that'll be my story. It's like, I don't want to be on the news because I went on dating some crazy man. But I got on there and I was scrolling through. I was like, oh my goodness. It took me like a week or two to even get approved. So
Okay. Crap. I had a feeling it was her. All right. Let me stop the screen share for a moment. So there's a show. I want y'all to Google it. I'm not going to do it for you. There's a show called Sisters. And there's another show called Zatima. And these are both BET shows. Now, let me say this. BET is not famous. I repeat, BET is not famous. One more time. BET is not famous. If you are on BET, you are not a famous person. BET is where you go when all else fails. If Jonathan Majors' career doesn't recover from this, you will see him on BET. If Will Smith's career don't recover from the slap, you will see him on BET. But that's not what I want to point out about this chick, because I did happen to see a commercial for that. And the thing about this chick that really is bothersome is that she was fat. So this snippet here was done 6 months ago. But on the show, she is a much bigger woman. In fact, she's like, there's 5 chicks, and her and another chick that work at the airport are competing for the biggest bitch award. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. So she's lost a lot of weight, and she's not really like talking about that aspect. Like, you've only been slim for what, 6 months of your life? The last person you dated was was as a much bigger bitch. Oh, I see. So yeah, she lost weight like for a while. But anyway, that's her. So somebody, oh, here we go. Here we go. Let me see if I could okay, let me share this with y'all. I tried to get the picture. Uh okay. So I'm trying to get the I'm not gonna share this because of the strange pop-ups. Who knows what'll come up, but um they got 100%. First of all, Rotten Tomatoes didn't even want to give them tomatoes. Here, let me show y'all BET. Let me show y'all. I am gonna show it. Let me show y'all BET. So Rotten Tomatoes don't even tomato you, and this is from 2022. They haven't even tomatoed you on Rotten Tomatoes. That's BET for you. You have an audience score of 100%. Fewer than 50 have rated you. I repeat, fewer than 50 people in the entire basic cable industry has rated you. That's BET. I get more likes on videos than you do audience members that rate you. And I get a feeling that the rating that you do get, because you have 100%, are the people, are the actors and actresses on the show. Nobody watches you. I repeat, nobody watches you. So she's famous now. Holy crap. Holy crap. This is her big break? And she looks better now than she did in her 30s? This is terrible. This is terrible. She's just all around awful human being.
So I get on there and I'm like, and then the few guys that I did match with, they never hit me. So I was just like, what? Okay, this is stupid. So I deactivated my account. And
Okay. So you're on an app with Simone Biles, wondering why the dudes on this app aren't hitting you.
hats off to anybody who does that and it actually works. Like, because I feel like there are some good people out there who use dating sites for the right reasons, and those are people who are everybody's looking for a relationship. So it's not like you're going out there and we're not on the same page. We definitely have the same end goal in mind, that we're ready to be with somebody and we want to get married or whatever the case may be. But I'm big on referrals. I'm not too keen on the dating sites. Somebody asked me before, would I go on like a dating show? No. Yeah, no, I would never. Somebody literally didn't somebody ask me to like. Somebody did ask me about some type of show, and we're like, we'll host it, but we're not like coming on it. I can't.
Oh, and this is another example of how ditzy she is. So basically, she goes on this dating site, this elite dating site, and I don't know if you guys send like your credit score or paycheck stubs or something like that, or you actually got to be famous. But at this elite dating site, she is not. They're not feeling her like that. But she still swear up and down like, oh, I can have a professional athlete and he'll marry me within a year. Where's this delusion coming from? Because there are professional athletes on this dating site. We know because one of them married Simone Biles. But yet you still think that they're after you and you can have it anytime you want. They're just not smart enough. They don't meet your sapio desires. Shut the hell up. She's like this in real life. Her character on the show she's like this in real life. This is crazy.
Yeah, we were both like, nah. I don't know. Like, it's something about that. And that's whatever you do is your business. And I watch the shows. I think they're fun to watch. And I'm very intrigued by it. But I'm not putting myself out there on live television. I do that already through my work. I'm not about to put you like in that all my business trying to find love. There was another show too. Was it Looking for Love? That Will Packer produces. Yeah, my mom loves that show. But yeah, no, I don't think I would do a dating show or anything like that either. When it comes to like dating and that timeline of, okay, we met, we get to know each other, you're courting me. Okay, now are we exclusive? Are we doing this thing? What are we doing? The most uncomfortable position to be in a relationship or in a dating phase is to the point where you're like confused about what we're doing. I talked to this guy for a year and didn't know what we were doing. And when I finally asked him, I was like, so what are we doing? I know guys hate that question. It's like or they hate that we need to talk and they hate that what are we doing?
Oh, well, I've been with this guy for a year and I'm like, what are we doing? Fucking! That's what you're doing. Fucking! She probably asked that question while they were fucking. They're squeaking and shit. What are we doing? Fucking? Oh gosh. Because that's all you can do, sweetie. And that's because you don't have any substance. And you're on BET. What are we doing?
It's like dun dun dun, and I'm like, I tried to
Fucking!
my tone. Not so. What are we doing? I tried to be very particular about how I said it because I didn't want to like scare him or him to go in a shell and be like, oh God, I don't want to talk about this. And he was like, I'm thinking we're dating, and he's like, oh no, he's like, we're getting to know each other. I'm like, bruh, how much knowing do we need to get? Like, come on. Pastor Darius and Pastor Shamika say
we're getting to know each other.
Data. I was like, it ain't that much data to collect.
How much knowing do we need to do?
If you ain't catch it, you ain't catch
About
it.
3 more minutes.
So I'm thinking we dating, and that's the importance of communication because women will be thinking one thing and a man will be thinking another. So I feel like at that point I was in my 30s and I waited a year to kind of figure out what we were doing. But now I feel like within 90 days, that 3-month period, we need to know what we're doing. You know, like I'm not gonna keep wasting my time if you're unsure, because I'm an open book. When in my energy is very
It's
like
not just your.
penetrating, like you're gonna feel it.
Holy crap. Holy crap. This chick just said it and she don't realize what she said. Imagine if you're a guy with a 3-digit IQ and you are with this chick who claims to be sapio. And she just and so you've been fucking her for a while and she just says, "What are we doing?" And she just says, "Cuz I'm an open book and your energy is penetrating." I'm an open book and your energy is penetrating my open book. So what are we doing? I'm sapio. Holy crap. Holy crap. I gotta listen to it. I gotta listen to it again. Oh. Your energy is penetrating. What are we doing here? Holy crap. If I was a dude that edited videos, I would definitely make a shirt out of all of that. All of that. Your energy is penetrating me. I'm an open book. I'm sapio. Crap.
Tried to use my tone like, so what are we doing? Not, so what are we doing? I tried to be very particular about how I said it because I didn't want to like scare him or him be like him to go in a shell and be like, oh God, I don't want to talk about this. And he was like, I'm thinking we're dating. And he's like, oh no, he's like, we're getting to know each other. I'm like, bruh, how much knowing do we need to get? Like, come on. Pastor Darius and Pastor Shamika say collecting data. I was like, it ain't that much data to collect. I showed you in 3 months what it was. If you didn't catch it, you didn't catch it. So I'm thinking we dating, and that's the importance of communication, because women will be thinking one thing and a man will be thinking another. So I feel like at that point I was in my 30s.
You think?
And I waited a year to kind of figure out what we were doing.
Holy crap. She is as ditzy as. Okay. So, I don't watch it as much, this particular brand, anymore of porn. But there was a site, not a site, but on Pornhub, I would watch this series, whatever you want to call it, called Backroom Casting Couch, right? Now, I know it's fake. I know it's fake, and I know it's scripted, to say the least. But basically, the way it consists, the way it happens is that the girls come in to rehearse for porn. And then the guy who's behind the camera was like, okay, but, I got to test you out. So, we're going to have to get you to practice and then we'll start paying you. That's just the gist of what's going on. And then the girls, they pretend to be reluctant. Once again, it's scripted, but they're like, oh no. So, and it works out like that. Like, oh, what are you doing? What are we doing here? And she sounds like those girls. Like, we've been rehearsing for a while. What do you? I'm starting to think that you have a different goal in mind for me. She sounds like that. She sounds like that right now. She sounds like that right now. That is hilarious. Yeah, like all of the calendar girls. Like, she sounds like the audition girl. Like that's getting banged, wondering when am I going to get the thing that I'm auditioning for? What's going on? I'm starting to think that men and women think different. Holy crap. This is hilarious. I'm glad I waited to the end. I was going to go get some food, but this part is hilarious.
Knowing, do we need to get like, come on. Pastor Darius and Pastor Shamika say collecting data. I was like, it ain't that much data to collect. I showed you in 3 months what it was. If you ain't catch it, you ain't catch it. So I'm thinking we dating, and that's the importance of communication, because women will be thinking one thing and a man will be thinking another. So I feel like at that point I was in my 30s and I waited a year to kind of figure out what we were doing. But now I feel like within
Imagine being on the casting couch for a year and not getting a job.
Within 90 days, that 3-month period, we need to know what we're doing. You know, like I'm not gonna keep wasting my time if you're unsure, because
he's sure. He's sure that he's not gonna be with you.
And my energy is very like penetrating. Like you're gonna feel it, and it's either you're gonna feel it.
I forgot about that. Through everything else, I forgot that she said my energy is so penetrating. Oh, this is spectacular. Where do they find these people?
Little you're not feeling it. So like make a decision. Don't string me along. I need you to be very vocal about how you feel. So yeah, I would say about 3 months is my like waiting period to kind of figure out where it's going. At this age, I'm gonna have a man who I don't.
Listen, ladies, if you don't have any substance, then guys are just, I mean, it don't matter what time limit you're going to be on, because it's just going to be 3 months of. So instead of for dealing with one guy a year before you get, you're going to deal with 4. But the results are still the same.
I have to ask. He's going to tell me. Or I might have to hit him with the, I'm about to go out tonight. Am I taking her on? Because I need to let these men know what it is, because I know they're going to be on me, you know, or not, because they're going to be approaching me. But
now she just realized how dumb she sounds. Now it just dawned on her. Like, on one hand, I'm claiming that the men are going to be on me, because they always are. And then the next sentence, I'm like, they don't be approaching me. Can't make this up.
Taking her or not? You know, I need to know. I might hit him with that. That'll probably catch him off guard. But no, like at some point, like I feel at that point, I'll be like, so what are we doing? Like, this is where I am. This is how I feel about you. And if I'm asking you that means I feel safe with you. I want to take this further. But I hope that the men that I attract now, I hope that I'm attracting likeness and people who think like me, that I'm not even gonna have to ask that to. He's gonna come to me like, babe, like this is where I am. I want to take this.
Do you really want a man that thinks like you? You are so not aware. I mean, because think about it, and think about it like this, and this is how I know that you're not sapio. And it's not that, I don't think that there's anything wrong with like your brain, other than the fact that it's understimulated. And it's understimulated because you haven't stimulated it with other intelligent people. Or else you would have people in your life to say stuff like, you still have an extraordinarily failed strategy. Because after 3 months of, you're going to say to this guy, so where are we going? Are we dating? And he's going to say, oh, yeah, we're dating. And then 3 more months of, you're going to say to him, like, so where are we going? Are we girlfriend and boyfriend? Like, yeah, you're my girlfriend. And then 3 more months of, yeah, so are we exclusive? Like, oh yeah, sure, we're exclusive. It's just that we're exclusive until I find somebody else. Like, I'm Sapio.
To the next level with you. And I'm going to speak that. My next man, I'm not even going to have to ask him because he's going to tell me. And he's going to let me know, baby, this is what it is. I got you. We in this thing. And
Ha,
it's
we in
so
this
funny
thing.
because my parents got engaged within 6 months and they were married by
How
the 8th
old?
month.
How old were
So
your
like, it was a very
parents?
fast track.
How old were your parents? The fact that they're your parents mean that they were not 40. Okay? Why are you waiting to now to do what your parents did? I repeat, the fact that you were born means that your mama and daddy was not 40 when this happened. Okay? Why are you waiting till now to do what your mama did? Ever notice that? My grandparents been married for 50 years and that's what I want. Did you want it when you were 20? Well, no, I was dating millionaires and you know, I was, but now I want what my mama had without sacrificing what my mama sacrificed. And what my mama sacrificed was her youth infertility. She sacrificed that to my papa.
Marriage. And my mom always says it don't take nobody that long to figure out they want to be with you or not. Now, I will say that I go back and forth with this. Some days I want marriage, other days I want a life partner. There's been a time where I wondered if I just wanted a commitment ceremony because I wanted to honor God and get married before God, but not in the law. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it just gets weird and technical when it comes to
I agree with that. Jump the broom.
getting married the way that the United States and everybody else wants you to get married. But I feel like that's between you and God. And if we can honor God and live by those vows, that's all I need. And what we do together, how we build together is ours. And if it don't work, you go your way, I go mine. We split what we done together. I leave what I came with. You leave what you came with. But then other times,
Okay, I hate it when the hyper religious chicks are never the ones to actually look. Listen, are you a 40-year-old virgin? Like, other than actually going to church, what about your life suggests that you are a religious person? Let's not play these games. And listen, I'm not saying that every person who claims to be Protestant should be, you know, should just have complete piety and walk around, you know, completely chaste or something like that. But when you just go like the exact opposite on some Suge Avery stuff, like, come on now, really? Who you fooling?
I was like, okay, let's get married. I don't know. I still want my ring. Whichever way I do it, I need that ring though. Okay. Minimum 8. What Jay-Z say? Rock so big can't even fit her hand in her new purse. Yeah, I need that.
I'm Sapio. Yeah, exactly. Oh, see, Toya read my mind. I'm Sapio. Nothing turns me on than a brother with a high IQ, but except 8 carats. Rock so big it can't fit into her new purse. Like, yeah, that too. But those millionaires, you know, they can't stimulate my mind. And those Sapios, you know, they either can't afford a ring like that or they're too smart to buy some crap like that. Take your pick. Smart men don't do crap like that. I say we. Well, I'm gonna say we because I was tested. I mean, I had an IQ test. So we don't do crap like that. We just don't. Especially for bras like you. I'm Sapio. You are out your diamond picking mind. I'm on BET.
I need that thing. I need the one that I like got to take off some days. My baby's just too big. It's just too big. Everything's too big.
And now this is a deliberate innuendo. Everything's too big. Who are you talking about? You're talking about your fantasy guy. Your fantasy guy that gave you a big ring that's too big for your purse, and he got that big thing. So keep it a buck. But I mean, miss me with this whole I'm Sapio stuff. Like, miss me with all that. Like, miss me with all this. I need a guy who can penetrate my energy. No, you need that BBD. You need that BBD. And that BDR. You need that BDR. Stop acting like you different from the chick that was dating millionaires in her 20s. The only difference thing about you is that it's no millionaires coming at you like that. That's the only thing that's different. And why are you so damn old? So she's on a show that's about some chicks who are still walking around trying to figure their vagina out. But that show should be about broads in their 20s. Why did he hire somebody your age anyway?
It's too big. It's too wide. It's
too big, too wide, too strong. I'm a Christian. All over the damn place. And ladies that's watching it, don't expect us to feel bad. Do not expect us to feel bad. Listen, I favor myself to be a man of integrity and honor. And would I pump and dump a broad like this? Absolutely. With no remorse whatsoever. She is ditzy, and that is what happens with ditzy chicks. Okay? I have, listen, my moral barometer does not prevent me from she deserves exactly what she gets. And now she's 41 and she still hasn't figured it out. And then next year, "42." She is going to spend the remainder of her days looking for guys and all the wrong penises. Don't care one bit. She's confused because she's stupid.
too strong. It won't fit. All the things. Just a big energy. Okay. Them young men are fun, boy. They keep you young. They keep you young. You know what I like about young men?
What do you like about
is that
young
they're
men?
very confident. If they're like attracted to an older woman, those little boys be coming with some confidence. It's like, okay. They make you feel good about yourself. They hype you up. And I think we do the same thing for them. Older women, it's like we stroke their ego, we make them feel more of a man, and it's like they feel like
it's not their ego you're stroking. You simple. This chick is ditzy as hell. Eugene Thomas says, nice sound effects. That's actually my chair. I don't have a YouTube setup where I got a bunch of sound effects and stuff. I just have a squeaky chair. I notice it when I do pre-records. That's why I sit real still. Oh, y'all don't notice, but I sit real still when I'm doing pre-records and stuff. But my chair squeaks. So I guess it's time for another one. But I don't even know if it squeaks because it's old or because like all cheers squeak. But no, that's my cheer. Exactly. I mean, you're what they do between young girls. Like real talk. Because I used to be a young. Yeah. Okay. I can't with this shit. I'm Sapio. I'm Christian. Oh crap! Press the wrong button. All right, hold on. Let me put it back out there. I even forgot I put the link out there. All right, so let me play some more.
Like they're conquering something, but little do you know we're conquering them. We just let them think that they doing something. But yeah, my date, I did go through a phase where all I was
I'm
attracting was
conquering you.
20-year-olds. And like even boys, they're like, well, I'm 29. They went to 28, 29. And then I met a 30-year-old. And finally, I'm meeting like men in their 40s where I'm like, okay, been through some things, have a better understanding of life. That's what I need. Me and young men, I realize there's some good conversation. We have fun together. But when it gets to that depth and what I really need in a relationship, they can't really provide me with that. And there are some young men that have gone through enough in their childhood where they're like, I'm like, wow, like you actually have an old soul. And it's because of things they've been through. But for me, I definitely need my list. Some smart that saying that.
Oh crap! So basically, you're eating off people's suffering. Basically, if you was if you used to spend the night at Michael Jackson's house when you was a kid, you just say like, "Ooh, you have an old soul." I like that. Like, what you like my suffering? What do you like? You like unhappy childhoods? Like, ooh, that makes you a better person for me. Like, holy crap. What's going on, H&M?
Not much. Salute. Game changer. Number one entertainer. Put it within the game like a lion tamer. Happy holidays.
Appreciate you, brother. What's on your mind about the topic at hand?
Title is dating at 40 is difficult. Well, I don't I don't know because dating can be complicated at damn near any age. But I have reason to believe that women when people get older, it's like they have to kind of I don't know, adjust their standards because they can't demand what they wanted when they were in their 20s because they don't offer, what they had when they were in their 20s. Think about that. If you're a 40-year-old, how should I put it? If you're a 40-year-old man, you can't demand youth, beauty, fertility, that kind of stuff because I don't know. There's this shame about, men wanting younger women, but if you want to have kids one day, you're gonna need somebody younger, but they will constantly shame us for that. Because these
Exactly.
40-year-old women, they will shame us for that. But these 40-year-old women, man, they've been through so much. And I have reason to believe that if
And
a
so much as
40-year-old man wants
yeah.
if a 40-year-old man wants a 40-year-old woman, I don't think he's looking for a relationship. He's looking for maybe a mate because they've been through stuff on separate terms or whatever. Think of it like this. When you're young in your 20s, you meet a woman, y'all climb the mountain together. It's like climbing a mountain. You climb the mountain together. But when it comes to dating older, you climb one side, I climb one side, we each other at the top. That's kind of what 40-year-old men and women are doing. Meeting each other at the top after they done climbed that mountain and been through a whole lot of stuff. So I can't see that going too far. It can possibly happen, but it's highly unlikely in my eyes. That's just my take on it.
That's a good analogy. It is. All right, let's continue.
Maturity. I feel like there are pros and cons to like dating guys that are a little older than you. personally wouldn't go over 5 to 8 years older than me. I kind of want to keep it in that range. Because I feel like once you get like into the 50s and the 60s, that's just it's just too much. And like, is you my daddy? Like for real?
Your
I can't
daddy's
do
10 years
that.
older than you?
But even like the energy and like the fun, there's some 50s and 60-year-olds that like to have fun, but I feel like my age range, like we're still young, we still have a lot of vigor, we like to go out, like to travel. I need somebody that can keep up with me, because when I go out, like especially out the country, I like to have a good time. And I'm out partying, I might be, I don't need you to be embarrassed. Like I want to have a
I'm a
good
Christian.
time. And I don't feel like sometimes like older people just
What
want to stay in the
the
house all the time
fuck?
or want to do boring stuff. Like I don't want.
Yeah, so she
Okay,
likes to
hold on a
go to
second.
other countries and dance,
She said something about
and
you
then go
got
to
to be able
church.
to handle me. She said you got to be able to handle
Yeah.
me because when I go out, I like to act a fool. Okay, why the hell
Yep.
are you 40 years old acting like a goddamn 20-something-year-old party girl? Seriously, most men at that age are not into that kind of stuff. I mean, I be engaging in it every now and then, but come on, I'm too old for that kind of stuff. You talking about get into a relationship and you want to do this? No wonder men don't see you as being nothing serious. You're more of a party girl. You're the fun
Well,
woman. And
the
some people,
thing is that if they
and
wanted
some people
somebody
don't come out
who,
of that mindset.
if they wanted somebody who behaves like a 20-year-old, then they would get a 20-year-old. So it's a non-starter.
And she talk about 20-something-year-olds coming to her with all this confidence. The way she act, I can imagine. 20-something-year-old guys got the same party mindset as her. I can imagine. And I speak from experience because I bagged some older women. I was 26 dealing with 33, 34-year-olds. So yeah,
Yeah.
I can kind of relate to that experience.
Want to go play bingo? Like what? I'm trying to no. I'm trying to. You know that's what old people be doing. I'm supposed to be playing bingo. With the bag that has the beans in it, like this. Going to bingo night? Nah, bro. All right, go on. I'm gonna be over at. I'll be at Nobu. I'll let me. One of the first young boy I talked to, we met through a mutual friend. We had dinner together. We pulled up on and we had dinner with him. And I thought he liked my friend. So then I get a call. And my brother's like, yo, so-and-so wants your number. And I was like, me? I was like, because my friend is like a lot younger than I am. So I just knew that he wanted my friend. He's like, nah, he said you. And I said, oh. I said, okay. I was like, yeah, you can give my number. So I hit him and he was like, hey, what's up? He was like, I want to fly you out. Like, I want to bring you to where I live. If I say too much, people don't know what I'm talking about.
That wasn't funny.
But yeah, he's like, I want to bring you to where I am. And he was very like assertive and like was very made plans. All right, send me your birthday and all this stuff. I'll fly you out, put you in a hotel because I know we don't know each other like that. And it was time to go eat. So like he came and picked me up. He did all the things. It was like very thought out. And I was like, okay, little boy, I see what you're doing. And he was just like, yeah, he's like, I saw you. And I was like, yo, like, who is that? He said, as soon as you walked in, I was like, who is that? He's like, oh, that's Crystal. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm a lot older than you. He said, I don't care about that. Where they say age ain't nothing but a number. Y'all love to use that line. I was like, age is more than a number once we get down the line. Okay, we gotta.
Where have I heard that before?
Right now it's all cute, but when we get to the nitty gritty and you start wanting baby,
He don't want babies with you.
She can't have babies, can she?
Talking other things, I'm like,
I don't know, but I mean, from the time it takes for the relationship to mature to that stage, she won't be able to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 40 years old. So he came with it real confident, came strong, was already booking flights, planning dates. And I was like, okay, I like that. I like that. All right, guys, here is one of my favorite parts of the show where we have positive outcomes where you guys write into me and I give you my advice.
Holy crap!
This one says,
she's giving advice. She's giving advice.
She's giving advice on dating. She's giving advice on dating, yet she can't even get a date her damn self. Ain't that about some shit?
Miss Crystal. Hey, Crystal. I am a huge fan of your work. I'm 43 years old and recently divorced with a 15-year-old son. My marriage was over a long time before we decided to end it. Ain't that it? My son loves his father to death and took the divorce really hard. Now I'm single and ready to mingle. But I'm scared to date today's man because I was married for 20 years. I have no clue on how to date. And I know my son is going to give whoever I date the blues. Can you please give me some advice on how to put myself back out there? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, pause.
If you were married for 20 years, I totally understand because dating has completely changed. And today's man is not
You're
who he
damn
was
right it
20 years
has.
ago. Whew. So,
She said she hadn't been with anybody
Oh,
since like 2017. Why are they asking her stuff?
and not only
All right.
that, the
Well, Eugene,
person
you're
that
in and
sent that,
out, so you go for it.
can you
Yeah,
hear
I
me?
hate you now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the person that she's trying to give advice to, been married for 20 years, got a 15-year-old son, and she said she knew the divorce was over with before it even got to that point. So I guess she planned her escape ahead of time. Now she's a single mother with a teenage son and thinks she can date somebody. Well, nowadays being a stepdaddy has no honor. Nowadays nobody wants to take up that role. So it's gonna be a
Well,
hard role for her. Maybe she'll find somebody. I don't know. Her only
well, the
hope
best
is to find
advice
a
would be
man that's also a single dad.
to don't divorce. That would have been the best advice. I mean, like Kevin Samuels in this situation, he would tell her to get back with the baby's father. If she
Or
can.
don't
Yeah.
divorce for dumbass reasons.
And now you're asking this chick, oh yeah, you down bad. Eugene, you got something before I press play again? Okay.
I'm going to tell you to buckle up because it's hard out here for a pimp. Like it's real hard. I'm telling you, like I tell people honestly who like have troubles in their marriages, I was like, do everything you can to work that thing out because when you come out here, ain't nothing out here. So I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be hard. But
Huh.
I want you to be open minded. I want you to get up, go to like restaurants where you feel like you can meet people. Sometimes like nice hotel bars are nice places to meet people. Um, you want to go to places that attract the type of man that you want. Don't just like go anywhere. You got to be very strategic about where you go. My friend used to tell me like go to Whole Foods, put on a cute little workout outfit because that's where all the doctors go for lunch. And I was like, well, what? She goes, I'm serious, Crystal. Go to Starbucks in the morning because that's where everybody goes to get.
I knew it. I knew chicks went to Whole Foods to get chose. Cause I go to Whole Foods,
Really?
but I don't buy all my food because like I'm a frugal man. I'm a frugal man, but I don't buy all my whole food. I don't buy all my food from Whole Foods. I buy certain foods, particularly sauces from Whole Foods because it don't have corn syrup in them. Like salt, like syrup, cocktail sauce, steak sauce, stuff like that. I buy from Whole Foods. So I'm in there from time to time, and I like the grapes and stuff like that. But really, just any organic food place. And I do notice that the women are a lot hotter there. And now I know that they're there to be chose. Like that's a trip.
Damn.
To
So
get
I
some
guess it's true
coffee.
what they
And
say.
she was like, you think about it, you want to strategically put yourself in the places that you want to meet the caliber of man that you want. Um, as far as your son, sons are overprotective of their mother, so I'm sure whoever you date, your son's gonna give a hard time. But yeah, I would say just be open minded. Know that it's not gonna be easy. That it's gonna be a lot harder than it was 20 years ago. But honey, if that's what you want, you deserve it. And I want you to go get your man. Okay, keep it positive, sweetie. What I'm going through and what I'm growing through.
Only one person
In
asked
this
for
season of my
advice.
life, when it comes to dating in my 40s, I am going through developing patience
Oh crap.
for
We got a blonde. We got a blonde.
Developing
Okay.
patience.
You asked for it. You asked for it.
Developing
You
patience,
lucky
she
I'm
says.
hungry. You lucky I'm hungry. But yeah, because you done asked for it. You got a picture of Patty Mayonnaise as your avatar. But I'm not even going to speak on that. Let's see what you have to say. Y'all say choose better, but get mad at women for choosing. Women go to stores for groceries first and foremost. I'm not mad at women who go to Whole Foods to choose my penis. See, that's where you're wrong. You come here with assumptions about me. I'm not mad at that. That's what they go to Whole Foods for. In fact, now that I know, I probably go to Whole Foods to buy actual eggs and crap like that. So, yeah, I'm not mad at that. What are you talking about? You come here with assumptions. You assume that I am downing a woman for wanting to find a mate, and I have a poor understanding that it's not as direct as it seems. I understand that. I'm just saying I now know. I now know that they are doing that. Because before that they are doing that with the secondary motive or tertiary motive of finding my penis. Did I say anything was wrong with that? Patty Mayonnaise? No, I did not. All right.
To comment on that too.
the timeline that God has me on to get a man. Because right
What's that? Go for it.
Oh yeah, she said we get mad at women for choosing. No, what
now,
gets
like
on our nerves is
seriously,
how women
and I feel like
choose
women do it. I
incorrectly,
really do. I feel
but
like
then they
women
want to
do it
say all men
all
are
the
trash. Take it out on every man out there. You choose the wrong kind of man, then you want to say all men are garbage, all men are trash. No, honey, you just chose a garbage man and you didn't deal with him accordingly. Now you want to put that stigma on all men. That's what pisses us off. Don't take your trauma out on me just because you made poor choices. And that goes both ways
Well,
too. As
yeah.
men, we can't choose the wrong women. That goes both ways too. Men can't choose the bad women, the boss chicks, and then say all women are this, that, and the third. No, you chose them, but you didn't deal with her correctly. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
accountability goes both ways, but it's so one sided. It's ridiculous. Oh, go ahead, GC. Go.
Okay. You're delayed. So you might want to go out and come back in. But I want to say this about that.
Be
It's a
right back.
little okay. It's a little off because in this particular instance, she didn't choose anybody. So for you to say that we get mad at women for choosing, first of all, we're not really mad at this woman. Secondly, she didn't choose anybody. And I think that that's very important. You know, this is a woman who spent her life as an unmarried woman. She didn't choose at all. So, yeah. A lot of assumptions going on, Patty Mayonnaise. A lot of assumptions. Speaking of assumptions, I assumed that she was reasonably smart. It's one sided because we're the ones getting killed, not y'all. What in the fuck?
What the fuck are you talking about? Who
Hold
said
on, hold
anything
on,
about getting deleted? Who
hold on,
said
hold on,
that? Did we
hold on,
say anything about that? No. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
hold on, H&M, because I really want to. You're right that none of us actually said anything about getting deleted, but you do understand that men get deleted, don't you? You do understand
Exactly.
that men get deleted a lot more than women. Like, you know, those things where you hear the women complaining, like, oh, there's so many more women than men. That's because we get deleted. So, yeah. Wow. That's weird. That's a very weird thing to say. One sided because we're the ones getting deleted. Like, No, we're the ones getting deleted.
Oh my God. Where do these
That's
people come with that logic? That makes no
I don't
sense.
know.
Like you
They
said,
come from
men
Nigeria.
and women.
They
Men
come from
and women are,
Nigeria. That's yeah. That's where it comes from.
Um,
yeah, exactly.
Lord, where is he? And I'm growing through this season, learning myself and preparing myself for that man. So in therapy, really trying to unpack more things so that I can be my full self when I do find or attract. Because I'm not fine, he gonna find me, find my man. So yeah, that's what I'm going through and what I'm growing through.
Okay.
Guys, this has been an amazing episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. For the keep it blank, sweetie, what we gonna say? I'm gonna say keep it. Keep it cute, sweetie. Okay, because listen, we're 40, we're fabulous, we're
Holy crap.
fine. Just keep it cute, have fun with it, and stay open minded. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. If you want to write into my positive outcomes listening letter,
Oh no,
make
I
sure you
don't.
write
No,
to
I don't. Hold on.
keepitpositivesweetie@gmail.com.
All right. All right. That is a chick from BT. All right. Well, I'm gonna get something. Oh, what's this chick talking about? For choosing by other men. You can look up the stats yourself at Kevin. If we don't care, we don't care. Okay, understand this, Patty Mayonnaise. Stop trying to get stuff from the actions of others and the inactions of others. I want you to understand that when you're dealing with a certain level of intelligence in a man, which I hope that that's something that you seek, the actions of others is not really going to determine anything that happens with you and him. Say, for example, right? This is a good Christian man, and you are to say something like, I deserve I deserve an expensive purse because so many men are not Christian. So you need to give me an expensive purse because so many men are not Christian. That's not going to work on him. And for you to expect any change in behavior from any man here because there exist men that delete women is foolish. And you're not dealing with foolish men. What you got to do, Patty Mayonnaise, is be smarter. And it's not as hard as it seems. It's not as hard as it seems, being smarter. The key to being smarter is to listen more than you talk. That's the key. That's why when you are in K through 12 and even college years and stuff like that, you sit with your hands folded and you listen to the teacher and you become smarter as a result. If you want to become smarter as it pertains to intergender relationships, then you actually have to listen to the other gender. Nothing you say about other Black men, past or present, is going to affect a smart Black man's treatment of you there now. I can't stress that enough. So people are in here saying that you follow Cynthia G, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cynthia G needs the same lesson. That's why she's suffering from the same misery. Okay? The truth of the matter is that nothing you can say or do. You could bring up history and y'all failed me here and this and slaves were traded and slaves were mistreated and all none of that matters about you getting me a sandwich right now. Either you do or you don't. And any excuses that you give is going to fall on deaf ears. That's the way that works. These tactics of manipulation has no power here. And unfortunately for Cynthia G, it doesn't have any power over the men that she's attempting to manipulate either. And the only men that can be manipulated by such things are manipulated by other outside factors. That's how she became a baby mama. Choose your leaders wisely. All right, so I'm gonna see if H&M got any last words. Let me see what this private chat is. I think it's from Charles or Eugene. Yeah. Okay, he said I got an echo. Okay. All right. So yeah, if you come back without an echo, that's cool. But H&M, your final words.
My final thoughts. Well, I don't know. I mean, that comment was just utterly ridiculous. It's one-sided because we're the ones getting deleted. Like you said, man, men and women are the ones getting deleted. Seriously. So why would you even throw that in there? I said both men and women have to choose carefully. I didn't just say men. I didn't just say women. Both sides have to do it. So we both suffer consequences for our bad choices. So who's to say that it's one-sided? I'm like, damn. That was just a ridiculous statement to make. That was just a ridiculous statement to make. I'm like, oh my God.
Agree.
And as far as dating, and as far as dating in your 30s, dating in your 40s, well, I don't know who it's harder for, men or for women. It's harder for women because what you just saw in that video, she's coming in with some baggage or whatever. You know, and they say the older we get, the more stuck in our ways we get. So that doesn't leave us susceptible to actually listening to each other. That applies to men and to women because at 30 now I'm kind of stuck in my ways too. Like I don't like being told anything. I don't like having to lead somebody around. I can do it, but I'm just not in the mood to do it with someone that's in my age range. So we kind of both get stuck in our ways to where we're just content where we are.
Mm.
So that's gonna make things complicated.
Good point. Good point. Very good point. Okay,
Yeah.
so with that, I want to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, and those who participate in the chat. If you're interested in movie night, go ahead and hit my email. I think I might do something tonight. I'm not sure. I got to get some food in me first before I can even think if I want to do that tonight. And yeah, this is GameChanger.
Before I go, I'm doing my own show on New Year's Eve at 7:30. If you want to chime into that, if you can chime into that. So,
where are you at?
What you mean? Oh yeah, you on the East Coast. I'm in. Okay, the time zone is Central Time. Okay. I'm on Central Time.
I may be able to pop in because it's only like 5 for me then. So yeah. So I may be
7:30 in the morning.
All right, go ahead and put your link out there. But yeah.
Well, I'll put it in the chat, but I'll hop off.
Okay. But yeah, this is GameChanger 00100. I'm hungry. I gotta go. Peace.